Hello, and welcome to another Sunday in our Make, Do, and Mend series.
Still a rookie.
We have we are live on somewhere. I know the sound of my intro music. Yeah, so we are mending today because I haven't, and it's Make, Do, and Mend. So I kind of like, come on, bud.
I'll be adding a tiger on my Gene Simmons, now named Gene Simmons long coat that I have not hemmed yet.
Okay. Because who needs to put in a hem? Hey, Kilroy.
Hey.
Random political shirt, Batman.
I was not kidding when I said I have a collection of t-shirts, and I was literally just telling the story how the only reason I don't have a Nader shirt is because I watched these two Nader guys almost get beat up. I have a collection. My Trump shirt I haven't had the cojones to put on yet. Isaiah has worn it a few times.
Well, it's getting some attention. It's just not by you. Thank you. Yes, this is. It's impressed that you could find the buffalo through the Loki, but yes. It is from that great city.
Yay! Great city. Hey, Butterfly.
Hey, Butterfly. Is that a new mic? You sound like you're coming to us from a payphone.
Oh, does it sound bad? Does it? You know, I did this to tone it down because my other mic is so loud. If it's bad, let me know. I could easily just plug in my other one.
I hope oh my God, I'm going to have to start okay, we'll wait till we've got a full
Okay, now I have to check it. Now I have to break the fourth wall.
I am in love with my new computer company.
Oh no, I still sound. I'm just. You know what? I should bring my voice down softer. I am a screechy loud person because my real voice sounds like this. I have an extremely high voice, so I project my voice. Oh yikes! Okay, give me a second.
It's just loud, but sounds crappier. Oh, okay. I made some trash to treasures. Oh, don't get glitter on my new keyboard. I found these. I think. Oh no, I think these used to be light. They were broken, so I took some glue and glitter because I wanted sparkly dragonflies. I don't know where I'm going to hang them yet. Oh, the sparkle is not coming across to my end, but my pleasures. But
can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, that sounds much nicer.
Oh, I ordered a cheapy microphone from Amazon. My Amazon adventures are just failures.
Don't order crappy mics.
Look, can you hear this though? Can you hear this? Hey, Skids.
Hey. I know, aren't they adorable? I need to vacuum. There's like a glitter unicorn like shit in my living room.
How about this? Can you hear this?
Oh, that's fine. Yes, we can hear you now.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Can you hear this?
Yeah, who's giant? Who are you shooting in the background?
Well, I bought a soundboard because I cheaped out on a voice box because I want to get a talk box. I need to go get my mic stand.
Okay.
This whole thing this entire adventure was a complete failure.
I know. See, this is a cheap mic, but it's a $60 Rode mic mini with my external sound card. Like Rode, it's not the most expensive mic that they make, considering some of them are like a few $1,000s. But
that's so funny.
It's just cute.
I'm just laughing because I like this arm was eventually going to annoy me because I have an extremely long cord and I like to walk around anyways. And I make bad decisions, and I bought a blind stitcher because I'm going to start making pants.
Okay. Yeah. So I might end up getting an affiliate link. So this new baby that I got to put my own stickers. There's no logos, there's no branding. It's a mech case. They didn't even put the stickers for the guts on it, so everything's nice and smooth. But Meta PCs out of Arizona, it was not the I think this might be the most expensive computer I ever bought. But however, veteran owned company, humans made it. And at the last minute, when I was like, I didn't want the 32-bit hard drive memory, I wanted the 64. They charged me $3 less and was like, yes, we can still make this upgrade for you. Shipped super fast. I filmed an unboxing. I'll probably do a 30-day review. Oh, this poor tarnished thimble. But where's my favorite thimble? I don't know, but I'm super happy. So if anybody's in the market for technically a gaming PC, I don't think it's showing up. There's like lights on the back. This thing does so many things. It's got more bells and whistles than I know what to do with, but I just decided I needed to support independent computer builders. One of these days, I want to get one of those big AM talk radio mics. I'll suffer with my cheap Radio Shack mic until then. Fair. But what do you think about the new cars that they're taking out the AM? They're not even going to have AM on new cars anymore.
They're taking away our freedoms. We need to go in the street and riot. I still listen to the radio. I still listen to radio when I get in my car. I'm a geek.
I do. It's usually FM, but I'd like to know that AM is there in case of emergencies.
Before podcasts were a thing. Oh, this is going to be
before podcasts.
Well, I was addicted to talk radio. Like I used to listen to Dr. Demento when I was a kid. Like I was addicted to talk radio. And now in the podcast era, it's the golden era for people like me.
True. All right, we are live on the Rumbles. We are live on the YouTubes. So first thing, I had these. This is the apricot shorts from Mood, one of their free patterns. I made this in 2020 because I performed at home out of these shorts, but they're too big. So I put eyelets in it. And what do these crappy eyelets do? They pull out. So now I have a hole. So I was like, well, might as well buttonhole stitch around it so that I can reinsert my lace drawstring at the back.
So lesson of the day is don't cheap out.
Yeah, true. And a lot, yes. It's just one or two makes, I think, that I'll never be rich enough to buy. Fair. Speaking of never be rich enough to buy, we went to the lake yesterday with our friend, and I have driven the same car for a very long time. And if I've sat in a Benz, it was like an old used beat up one. But I sat in a new one. It's nice. But the same person, their relatives are coming to town, and the uncle just bought the wife like a $35,000 watch. I was like, this is a group of folks that I don't understand money like this.
And, people were giving me a hard time for thinking about buying Isaiah a truck.
Right, that's the same. That's the. Yep.
So in my travels today, I know my shirt is shocking, but I'm an equal opportunity employer, and I have hundreds. I was gonna say thousands, but I probably have like 500 or 600 black T-shirts. I got this at the swap meet today for $10 because I like making my neighbors feel awkward.
Oh, Kaepernick.
This is. I'm gonna be watering my front lawn. I'm gonna end up on Twitter. If you see me on Twitter wearing this, it's me.
Right. Completely true, Kilroy. Benz is out of my wheelhouse. I wouldn't even. It's so many electronics. I had to be like, how do I move the seat down? Because I was in the front seat because I like to ride shotgun, and I wasn't gonna sit with the dog. So. My feet, I was so short that my feet couldn't touch the ground, and I had to be explained which buttons on the door handle so that I could lower the seat so I wasn't like a little kid.
You know, don't feel bad if I sit on the blind stitcher table, my feet hang off of the ground.
Well, welcome to my world and every chair I sit in every day. Now you know what it's like to be me.
I knew you would love the Niners jerseys, Skids. I was a Joe Montana fan back in the day because I'm showing my age right now. So I'm not scared to wear Niner stuff at all. But I love it trips me out how everything is so politically driven. To me, this is just a t-shirt or a talking piece. Or, you know, something I'd wear while I'm gardening. It's not like anything to fight over.
Though I will, if anybody sees a Singer 6833, I will fight. I might beat somebody up for that sewing machine. I was watching this guy, Derek Does, and all this machine does is sew stars. And then a group of 3 stars. They used to use it for military uniforms.
Yep.
It's on this little Rhode. I'm like, I didn't even know there was such a thing, and now I want you. Please.
Cool machine, but worst job ever if you had to do stars all day long.
Yes.
Cool machine.
Right. But if you were the person who was like, and I have to sew another military shirt with these gold stars.
Private star maker, get to it.
Right, yeah.
That's like that, yesterday I saw a button machine and I sat there and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. But I hate buttons.
I know, if you misalign it, it doesn't work. The button machines are just as bad as crappy eyelet presses.
Let me see if I can get my other camera going so I can show this machine, if I can do this some justice. This thing's huge. It's huge. And shout out to young Mr. Sewing, because he helped me get that thing in and he didn't even complain. And that thing weighs at least 300 pounds because it's the motor. Right. It's all motor.
True. Oh, better than peeling potatoes. I don't know, but at least potatoes you get to put something in you're going to eat at the end. If I'm just making stars, there's nothing to eat unless you're going to eat the shoe leather.
Hey, Skids, I guarantee you Kaepernick and I would get more votes than other people. I want to know, how do these people keep their hair? I've been balding since I was 17. When I see these people, I'm like, how do you keep your fro? I lost my fro in like 98, 99.
It's called Better Hair, or the Hair Club for Men.
They have great health insurance.
Right. So maybe they went to overseas for one of those fancy hair transplants.
There's no way, like, some of these people have to be balding, especially in sports, because you're like, you know, it's just
right.
nature.
The drugs, the helmets, the drugs. Emphasis on the drugs.
I don't know how people, like, I'm really not into football anymore, and it's not even political. It's just I watch it once a year with my mom because my grandfather was a football coach, so she's really into football. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't know how you can have dreadlocks and put a helmet.
Wear a
on
helmet.
Is that like
maybe they're Velcro, like you Velcro them on and off? Like
I'll give you
really there.
I'll give you a perfect example. Is my mic that much better? This mic's better, right?
It is. It just is more like not as harsh and tinny. You just sound more mellow, and it's not just because you're mellow.
Hey, I am like hit or miss. I need to stick to ordering sewing stuff. I left my fro inside. I haven't had a fro in a very long time. So the reason I bring that up is because I'm a collector of weird stuff. I have a giant head. A giant head, okay? This is an old school helmet, and it fits me. I don't know how you can have dreadlocks and like you'd have to have like a size 75 helmet.
I don't.
And yes, I have everything in this room.
Yes, spray on hair. That is funny, Kilroy.
Do you know, I stayed up one night. Well, I always stay up, but till like 3 a.m. I was waiting to see. It was either Bosley's or Hair Club for Men, and it got me because it was a guy in a van. He's like, I'm going to show my family my hair, and he had a fro. I was like, oh, let me go get a cup of coffee. I'm going to watch this. long story short, the guy, they paint his hair. It's either plugs
Yep,
or
in a
it's some weird,
can.
yeah, it's some weird foam stuff. And because I'm a crazy thrifter, I got this too. I wonder what they think of me when I walk in those thrift stores.
Yes. Space Captain Godless calling for duty. Dime Industries. Oh, that's so funny because I know what the flower leaf the leaf looks like, but there's an embroidery channel that, what is it, digital something machine embroidery, that's a free digitizer software. So I think I see dime and it makes me think of them first.
This is made of like
100% hemp fabric.
I'm gonna use it as a beach towel. This is like a beach towel.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna use this as like the first layer on because you need a couple towels at the beach.
You do, but I kicked myself because I spent way more money than I should have on some 100% flax linen towels. And then my friend was like, why didn't you just buy linen and hem them for towels? I was like, yeah, I probably should have done that.
All right, I keep that helmet for the day I finally really do lose it. If you ever see me on my motorcycle with that helmet on, going the opposite direction.
Right, we've gone full Mad Max.
I'm kidding. I'm just shocked I found something that fits my head.
There's going to be fisticuffs over a sewing machine or water.
I paid $2.99 for it.
Good price.
Because it has something to do with marijuana, and I was in an extremely Catholic neighborhood.
So they were like, we just got to get rid of this.
I asked the girl, and she's like, yeah. That's the advantage of speaking Spanish. I asked her flat out. I was like, why is it so cheap? And she's like, because it has a pot leaf on it. We're trying to get rid of it.
Just, oh God.
It's a sign of the times, though. It's probably because there's a failed shop somewhere around there, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, now up in Oregon, they're just having a surplus. They don't know what to do with it. So they're like, how can we tax stuff more when you can grow a number of stuff in your backyard?
That's part of the problem here, is that we tax ourselves out of business here in California. So, like, even though we are the third largest economy in the world, one of the reasons is because we're taxed on everything. Right. I had to pay a tax just for saying tax.
Yeah, we need...
What else? I made my Lucy coat. I was inspired by watching Dick Cavett, and so I made the coat, and now I'm going to make pants, and I think I want to make bell bottoms.
Okay.
I think I'm going full 1970s on this one.
Yeah, in for a penny, in for a pound. No, I'm going to hold you to it now. You said it. Now you're locked in.
I make life decisions at the sewing machine. I'm like, should I hem this or flare it out?
Flare it out. More flare than last time. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of marijuana shops are about to fail because eventually the boom's got to go bust. Yeah, well, there's, between the real estate bust, people not being able to afford everything, there's a lot of busts that are going to be happening because, well, we've almost reached the debt ceiling, but Ukraine is like the 51st state. And we're just like, hey, Zelensky, what do you need? You need some more F-16s? Let's just like raid our own private stockpile and send you stuff that we can't manufacture fast enough.
We also send like two bill to Israel. We send like $1 bill to India. We send an outrageous amount. It's different. Like the Virgin Islands and
Guam, that's Rico. Technically ours. Puerto Rico,
exactly.
Right?
That's different. No, because I'm trying to go by all the things that I've been reading lately. But we give a ton of money to other countries.
Yeah, we do, and we can't afford it.
Like in the UK, they recently gave $15 billion or something crazy to Ukraine, and that would have settled the NHS.
Right.
That would have settled their debt. That like, and I watch Kate Smurthwaite, and the only reason I'm plugging her is because she follows me on Twitter, and she's like she's famous in the UK, and she's like a comedian in Australia. She travels around, and I felt honored when she followed me on Twitter. She liked my stuff. But she speaks plain English when it comes to politics in the UK, and she's left, but she's fair, and she'll call everybody out. Like, and because she was a banker, she always goes by just the facts. And I appreciate people like that, because once you take emotion out of it, there's reason behind certain things.
Yeah. Yep. And business is about business, not about feelings.
I hope my shop doesn't close. I'm gonna be on my knees crying.
Yeah.
They hook me up. They love me over there.
I was thinking of that's a nice segue though to Britain Banks, and there's these two guys. What is it? Constantine Cassin and his friend Francis. Constantine's immigrated from, he's a Russian Jew. Francis is from Argentina, Venezuela. They run a show, Trigonometry, and they just, Tide Bank just sent them a message through the app of like, sorry, we don't know, we're not going to give you any good reasons, but we don't want your business anymore. We're effectively closing your account. Take out your money and go.
I've been watching them since they had like 300 subscribers.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so they just got debanked the other last week, and they just made it public on Friday.
Do you know, I'm not getting my notifications anymore, I think because I'm subscribed to too many people.
Are you still subscribed to them? Or were you a victim of the YouTube mass unsubscribings?
I have to check. I like, even if I don't agree with somebody, I'll subscribe to them. Like, I am subscribed to all kinds of people, and I love watching them because they introduce me to the other side of people that I wouldn't necessarily like. The GBN people, before GBN was a thing, they were all on trigonometry. Like Calvin Robinson, he went crazy with his Church of England. Like I will sit down and talk to anyone, but he went crazy with his Church of England thing.
Oh, yeah.
Crisis. I told you, buttons are a menace.
And yeah, like Tupac said, they have plenty of money for war, but they can't feed the poor. I know. So, so many things. It sounds like there's war in the Bobart household, though.
It's so ironic that you would say that, Kilroy. I was listening to Tupac today, and there was something I was like, this man was ahead of his time. Like, he said something about the economy where I'm like, ooh, Tupac predicted the future, you goofs. And you didn't, you hated him. And I hated him for it.
Oh, God.
It's 1990 something in my car, though. So there's lots of songs from the 90s that go on in my car.
Right. I know my car's one of the few places that still has a CD player in it. In my household.
When I inherited my father's car, I inherited satellite radio. Because my truck still has a tape deck. Oh, that reminds me. It's getting hot. The weather's getting better. I'm starting to get the looky-loos again. Is it wrong to put someone's phone number online? I'm starting to get these again. I would like to buy your truck. I feel like people are watching me.
Well, they are, but
I don't leave my house. I don't leave my house except for go to work, and my kids homeschooled. And I did my weekend thing. I went to my job. I left the house at 4 something, and I came back. This was not on the car when I left this morning. When I came back, it was there. That means they were poking around my front door.
Yeah. Oh, creepy.
Yeah, maybe I'm over analytical, but I get a lot of callers because my TARDIS blue truck is awesome, but the transmission is destroyed. I don't want to pay the money to get a new one. I recently tried to get it towed. If you see me on another Karen video, it's me. They wouldn't.
You're not old-fashioned, Kilroy. We all are.
I have an old-fashioned. I have an old fashioned. I have a DVD player right here. The Chronic 2001 is in it because I'm stuck in 1999. And I have an old surround sound in here, so it's trippy when I turn it on and this room starts shaking.
It's not just from the sewing machines working.
Speaking
Oh
of
my
voice,
god. Oh,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, no, but that's another. Oh, I don't want to blow through my list too fast. But did you hear about the Warhol estate and the Prince that was at the
No.
Supreme Court this week? So the photographer who took the photo of Prince sued the Warhol estate for the prints that Warhol made. Warhol's estate lost in this copyright dispute. So now there's going to be all this new questions about what's fair use and what's transformative enough, and tattoo artists who like use picture like it. There's going to be a lot of new questions, or even about the whole Jack Daniels, Springer.
Do you know, I wonder about this all the time because I always think like, what if someone steals my YouTube channel, or what if someone steals my Twitter? I physically have the stuff.
Right.
So if you hijacked my channel, have it. I'll just start another one.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I physically own the stuff. Like, it's a little bit different when everything is online, you know?
Mm-hmm. I know, which is like, why would you ever buy why would you buy a piece of art that you can't like actually hold? Copyright law can get so damn scummy. Yes, it can.
I honestly don't understand it. I honestly do not understand any of it when I'm so mad this mic doesn't work. Well, that means it's not going to work on my camera. Let's see if it works on my camera. I just don't get it because, okay, this kind of segue into something that I wrote down in my notes. Trigger warning, I'm going to be talking about somebody with an eating disorder. My channel's under attack right now, and it's not even like, oh, let's panic. There's an algorithm that fights me on everything. It says my video has 1,000 something views. On the channel right now, it says I have 200 views or something like that. You know, I don't care. I love what I do, so I'm gonna continue to do it. And if they shut me down, I'm gonna go make a channel somewhere else.
Well, you've already got Rebel. You've already got backups.
Exactly. And you know, there was actually a major YouTuber that was like, you need to go on a different site because what if they were like, YouTube's dying, and it was Mac Does It. I'm giving it away. And I'm saying this because it was in a YouTube short because I watch shorts of people dancing. And I'm saying this with love. I don't know how Eugenia Cooney is allowed on YouTube. Last night I'm sitting there and I'm like, I wasn't shaking, but I was like, how is this allowed? Y'all hate me.
The same way that they let Tess Holiday, Nikocado Avocado, Glitter and Lasers, Foodie Beauty. They're both free speech. And you know, at least to Eugenia's credit, she just doesn't talk about not eating. Like, it's obvious if you got eyes that can see that she's well in the throes of her illness. But
I haven't seen her in a while, and I watch of Herbs and Altars, and he talks about it, but like I don't ever click on I don't click on it because I know what of Herbs and Altars is going through. I couldn't imagine what Eugenia Cooney's going through. Like because I've watched Dorian, is that what he goes by now?
Yeah, yep.
Since the day I stepped on YouTube, I found that channel.
Mm-hmm.
I miss when he would wander around the UK. I miss that. But
now,
I
think they're getting back to it. Yeah.
But and if you go way back in his channel, he goes up and down, but like he's honest about it. Eugenia Cooney, like,
yeah,
come on.
I know she should not. When Shane Dawson went over to her house and did that interview, like she'd been better, had went to rehab, was looking healthy, and that was just like, yeah. Well, she's mostly on Twitch. Is she? I don't think she live streams to YouTube. I think she just makes clips of it.
Yeah, it was.
But her family, like, obviously is in on it and is not like, and all the stuff about. Oh, I don't know.
It really made me jump because I'm obsessed with that song Under the Sea with Little Mermaid. Judge me. I was of a certain age when it came out. I was there.
Yes.
I was
Under
there.
Under the sea.
Sebastian is my dude. That is a soca Caribbean song. I love that song. And so I get a gajillion clips of it on YouTube because I've actually looked it up and listened to it on my headphones.
Yeah.
So I get a million clips and I'm like, this is I don't get it. And they hate me because I want to play Faith No More clips in my I literally almost got my channel taken down over a Faith No More video. And I got a copyright strike from that Osmond Teraband or whatever their name is, but I use all their stuff on my Rumble channel. Come find me.
I know Rumble. Greatest. I'm just kicking myself. I didn't buy any stock when it was $5 a share because now it's almost 10. Could have doubled my money in like 6 months.
What else have I made bad decisions on this week? I went shopping today. I did. I shopped my feelings away. Well, you know, I'm going to tell you, I don't know how to win. Everything is okay in my life. Everything is okay. So okay that I'm making bad decisions by buying crappy microphones.
I know. I could have told you just get a Rhode. Just buy a Rhode. Don't you look at the mics that your favorite YouTubers use, the big ones? It's either Rhode or Shure. Just buy what they like.
You know what's so funny? I have nothing but Shure microphones in here, but I have the old school ones because I have an entire sound system in here.
That probably works better than your new one.
I'm so mad. I need to stop. I need to stick to sewing supplies because my impulse buys are just cheap junk.
Yeah.
I guess I should know that if it comes like this came within 14 hours. I ordered it and I woke up and it was at my front door.
Oh God, that's weird.
I think though it's because I live somewhere near the distribution center.
Probably so. Yeah, that does help. My stuff leaves California, drives to the opposite end of the state, and then makes its way back. I'm like, this is so stupid. You had to like literally drive past my house to come back to my house.
There's like a giant hub in Texas, a FedEx hub. It drives me mentally insane when I order something from Northern California and it goes to Texas. And then it comes all the way to Los Angeles. And have to go all the way to my house. Oh, it drives me crazy. I could have driven there, you know?
Right. I could have just curbside picked this up.
Summer's coming. I'm like dying for a road trip.
It is. I know. I was so glad. We went kayaking in these little inflatable kayaks at the lake yesterday. I was like exciting. Stressful, was afraid we were going to die. Not that the lake is that big or that long, but we may have skipped the personal flotation devices, and there was some larger vessels on the water.
It's not lake day unless you're scared for your life.
But at least I was the most fabulous one there because I made myself last year a 1940s inspired 2-piece bathing costume that's red and white striped with lace ties with my polka dotted black schmata on top. Like I was the best looking person, best dressed there. That's why
I wonder if I futz around, I could probably get my Godzilla up there.
Probably. I think you can. Yep. It's in the back end somewhere. That's why I do enough research to write a 100-page paper when I want to buy anything. I hate buying junk. Good advice, Killer. Right. Godless needs to sit down and write a 100,000-word essay before he's allowed to buy anything.
I need to write, I will not buy things at 3 a.m. I will not buy things at 3 a.m. I will not buy things.
Yeah.
I'm impulsive in that sense. You know what the funny thing is? Like, I'm extremely practical on certain things, and other things I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy a blind stitcher. If you see me driving my truck to a thrift store, I've already made a decision.
Right. You already saw it on their website and you're like, then this is coming home with me.
Well, I had a parent moment where I called a babysitter, aka my mom, and I was like, I need to get a couple of things done. I need you to come and watch the kid. And she's like, fine. And so I was driving around town and I just happened to stumble into the thrift store.
Just happened to stumble in there as though you couldn't have just left the keys running in the car and driven past it.
It's on the opposite end of the town. So I really and it's not near a freeway. So I don't go on that side of town much. And so, and it's dangerous because they have a ton of thrift stores over there. Wimby's is over there where I bought the white rotary. Like there's a Goodwill where I bought my Singer Genie. That place is dangerous. It's just dangerous. But this is actually a semi-funny story. On Wednesday, I walked in. I saw the table. I was like, well, I'm in my Ford Flex. I'm by myself. Okay. Friday, I came back with my child. And we got that thing in there. And the truck is so big, I couldn't help but block the driveway. So people helped me to get my 25-foot long truck out of the way. So I get it home. I'm stoked. Just to get it in this room, I'm so proud of my son. He manned up so hardcore. We moved half of this room just to get it in here because this thing is almost 300 pounds. Oh, God. I get it in the room. I'm so excited. I sit down, and then I Googled, what does a blind stitcher do? Because I'm crazy. Because, and I was going to save that for Monday. But this is a Sunday kind of story. We got it.
Yeah, we did.
So who needs like 50 pairs of jeans? Because I'm gonna get this thing going, and this thing is an industrial machine.
Yeah, you're gonna be making Canadian tuxedos till the cows come home.
Well, they resell for thousands and thousands of dollars, but Alibaba pointed out to me that they're extremely common and they are. They're not they're getting more rare, but they're like a working one, it's a tool.
Yeah.
I watched a video of a tailor who sought one out and still uses it.
Yeah, because certain things are just best at their job, and why settle for something crappy?
And these machines are like parrots. Like when you buy one, you're gonna have to will it to somebody else.
Right. Yes.
I still to this day laugh at that display at my local pet store. They have this giant poster and it says, "This bird will outlive you. This is not a toy." And it shows a young person, then it shows an old person with the same bird.
Oh God! Don't give him any ideas. He does not need to buy from Temu, Alibaba, Wish, or any of those other crappy discount websites. No.
Alibaba, I made another blooper video, and Alibaba commented, and I was like, "I was waiting for you. I bought this. You need to know this." Because I knew that that he would know, or they would know. I knew that they would know, So that's when I figured out it. But if I found a Fanatic, I could probably resell it for a high price. But like I always say, if it's sitting in here, if you see it, I'm probably not gonna sell it.
Yeah, right.
The whole time, my son was like, "Okay, so you're gonna fix it, and then we're gonna take it to the shop and resell it, right? Like he's totally mothering me the whole way home.
Oh, and you're
'Cause
like,
I gotta
you'll be the one to sell it when I die, kid. Have fun.
I still think I'm gonna will everything to my ex-wife as revenge. Just my final, final act of defiance. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna open up the Godless Sewing Museum. I just, like I always say, like I only don't have sewing machines. I have cameras. I have all
you've got
kinds
everything.
of cameras. Oh, which reminds me, I've been cleaning out the room and I brought this bad boy back to life. This thing's huge.
Oh my goodness, that is a huge old-fashioned camcorder.
This is from the early 2000s. I wanted to be a stringer so bad, but then I realized I couldn't handle being around car crashes.
Yeah.
So I gave this to my father, and he started a production company because he's smart. Little sewing is turning into a ruthless capitalist. He is. Well, you know, he sees the correlation between like he is because I'm like, hey, will you do this and this, and he's like, will you pay me?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, bro, in my day, we just did what our parents told us. Like,
right. Oh, you wanted one of those big ones so bad. I know.
This is like the first edition of. Here, I'll turn it on. This is a 3CCD. It had hard. It has hard tape. What's it called? It's basically digital tape.
Oh yeah, yes.
Of what it records on, but this was first generation. I love this
right,
thing.
because it's a tape recorder, so it's got real tape. It's not digital tape because digital is digital and tape is tape.
Well, I'll show you the package. It's something crazy. It says it's some double entendre like that, where you're like, is that what it really means? Are you saying
pulling my leg?
This thing was so professional. Something happened at the ranch, and we had a bunch of news cameras there, and I was standing next to them, and the lady at NBC was like, "Oh, you have a better camera than the guy at NBC. Where do you work for?" And I was like, "I work here." And you're
right. This is right. You're on my turf. I know it is true. Of course, now everybody carries something better than that camcorder in their pocket.
That's why I've been cleaning out. I pulled all my old monitors and stuff out. I'm gonna hook this up to my monitor because I miss this stuff. Like a lot of this stuff is why I made my sewing room in the first place. It was because I have really cool stuff, and because can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. See, I want to make it louder with this thing, but I don't want to blow your guys' ears off.
Ah, more toys. Doesn't StreamYard just have pre-record sounds in there? Like I've got all sorts of like assets like that. Let's see here, media. What can we do?
I got really bored and ordered a sound card on Amazon at 3:00 in the morning. It came with that chintzy microphone. Really, I wanted the box, so I got what I wanted. Now everybody, yeah, it's true. Digital video camera. Yeah, it's digital tape. It's something weird. I'll show you. I still have a package of tapes not even out of the package yet.
Silly.
But this was like super early technology.
Oh, Killer, did the YouTubes block your chat? What is that? Where was that?
It does sometimes. It does. It does that often, actually.
No, I've got to poke around and find this.
I don't know if my phone can take this, but I'm gonna. Oh, whoops. Hey, what's up to the 8 people watching on Rumble? How's it going? You like my shirt? That's awesome. If you add that with the people that are watching
Is there?
on the
Well, one of them is me. I'm watching.
here,
Oh,
let
you're
me
still here. Oh, that's funny. Okay, there you go.
let me see which phone am I on.
Do we have that many? I wish that Rumble would talk to the streaming software because I know, like, I have it on, but it doesn't give me the stats. Oh, there's no keyboard on that computer. Sweet. It might have just been people who watched the trailer clip because the Rumbles makes you put in a clip. So there's cats fighting with my secret project that nobody's guessed yet. Hello, sewing and ranting with.
Godless Zoe, do you know what's funny? I always hated people with really long titles in their name, and then I became one on this channel. I always, because when you're in the chat, you're like, who is this geek with this really long name? It's me. It's me.
Yep, I know. I should just go by PEC, but I just turned myself into a 3-letter acronym because words. Right. What? Oh,
So I know
Go
we
ahead.
we get it's Sunday, so we get semi-political here. I've been hearing it a lot more, and I just want to say, as a person that is over 40, BIPOC is offensive, and I don't even know what Latinx means. What is Latin? What is like? And I'm saying that because people are inventing new things to categorize people more and more, and I hear it. And as somebody whose pops was like Black African, and my mom is like Hispanic European, it's just weird.
Right.
Have we
Yeah, you
people
can.
ever?
Yeah, and
I
I
was
think most of these things are from like middle-aged white ladies who are trying to like pretend to flex some correctness. I think I don't even. Yeah, I don't get it, but my culture is vampire.
I just jumped. I like these people were talking, and I was like, this conversation is being so convoluted by them stating what they are. They're not making a point.
Right. Why do we need? Can you we lead with what you do and not how you identify?
And I feel like and it's an age thing. And I'm not saying this to be an ageist. It's just weird because when I watch like people over 50, no one, they're like, I'm a dude.
Right.
From like I watched this one guy from Georgia, and he just says like, this is what I don't believe in, and blah blah blah, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's why I've really toned down my own labels. Like I tell people like, no, I sew in my garage
Right. I'm just a
because I can
human.
smoke
If
it here. Because I can smoke it.
because I can't do it in the house. Oh
No,
well,
it's
and
unfair. It's unfair to smoke in a house with a child. It's just
it
unfair.
is. Well, that kind of teetering back. I guess in New York City just made added height and weight to protected classes. So does that mean if I move back to New York City that I can complain to my apartment manager that my feet don't touch the floor in the toilet if it's too tall? Like what is
Yeah,
like how is or
but
like the
does New
person
York still have the restraints on the soda?
in the city probably. So then how can you be like 700 pounds and not be able to get your 70-ounce like gallon of Mountain Dew? Like,
You know what's really funny? I actually think that's an inalienable right. In America, you have the right to eat yourself. You can have a tasty suicide. You have the right to have a tasty suicide. You do.
you do, but I don't think being Eugenia Cooney tiny or Tess Holiday huge, how is that a protected class? Or that video clip on Twitter that's going around of that lady who was complaining because her junk in the trunk was so wide that she could not fit down the aisle in the airplane.
Do you know what's really funny? When I see stuff like that, I'm like, oh, enough Twitter for the day. Like recently, there's a video. I don't even want to bring it up, but like, there's a really bad video on Twitter. It has something to do with train tracks. It's nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day when I saw it today.
Yeah, I don't get it. I
See, but
just don't.
that goes back to what I was thinking about Eugenia Cooney. Like where, and you know what? Let's take all of the emotional stuff out of it. Where's the line? If it wasn't her, it's gonna be somebody else that I'm gonna be like, because personally, I have fallen down a rabbit hole of trash YouTubers, of trash content. And you know what's funny? It's like fake reality shows, but they're all fighting each other. And guess who? I'm watching it. It's a train wreck.
Yeah.
I'm watching it. You know, this is why these people have thousands of subscribers. And me, I'm like, hey, let's make some leopard shorts. And I love everyone who watched it. I love every single one of you.
Those were cute shorts. Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
understand because I mean, YouTube's got that whole like disordered eating policy stuff, but it seems like they're just targeting the restrictive people, not the morbidly obese binge eating. And
But do you think that like because she's a name, they'll never like they would never touch let's throw a name out there. ContraPoints. They would never take her channel down. They would never in a gajillion years take her channel down. Or Mr. Beast. What about Mr.
right.
Beast?
Yeah, I
They
know,
would
but he doesn't talk.
never.
He's not a disordered eating or someone with an obvious.
But if he did, but what if he did? Like, have you seen the pictures of Noah? What's his face? The guy that was in Superbad.
Oh, yeah, he's looks amazing. Or
Did we
am I
call
thinking
that?
of the wrong one? No, I'm
He's
thinking
like
of the
he
other
looks like
guy
he's
who.
on. We call that he looks like a like he looks like he hit the pookie too many times. What is his name? I'm on like 50 devices right now. Let me check. It's
I think 40 years ago we were at one extreme where everybody was like, fuck your feelings. But I think now the pendulum has swung to the other extreme. Hopefully we'll find the balance someday. Yeah, it does need to be, because now the kids are too web tendered. Like they, ugh.
okay. So YouTube did not show that comment because I'm on a few
Funny.
devices. I'm on a few devices.
That's
They're on us. They're on us more than they are on a channel like that, and that goes back to my original question.
well, I'm trying to think, like, is there something, because I know there's a couple of words in my YouTube, in my back end that I was like, but I don't think I had swear words. It was like crypto, Telegram, Bitcoin. I think those were my only like blocked words.
But I have no restrictions, and the same thing has happened to not just Kilroy. Like certain comments will not show up.
That's weird.
Okay, here we go. My conspiracy theory. That one got pulled up.
Yep, as he's pulling a bait and switch, build a name on giving money away, then switch to making bunches of money off the people you duped. Yeah, that sounds like another person right now, but I was trying not to talk about them this week because they just irritate the piss out of me.
I just like, again, if we take all the politics out, where did he get the money to give it away? Because
is his YouTube channel? I mean, what is he got, like 10 million subscribers on YouTube with ad revenue? He's probably pulling in 10 mil a year.
But he's giving away that much. He's planting trees. He's spending money. He's spending money.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll click on because I'll go on like trending or something, and it trips me out. Like he'll have a contest, and I'm like, who built this? Who built this giant thing that you guys like? It's like someone actually had to build this, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. But have you ever heard of the rapper Blueface? Him and there's this young man who's from my town. He is a modern day rapper. Him and his girlfriend, who's about to have a baby, they are famous for beating each other up. They literally beat each other up. Like they literally put hands on each other. And they're crazy. They do crazy things. And because Christine Rock is my size, men will not challenge her because most, you know.
Right.
They live in what looks like a Roman palace. It's in my town somewhere.
Oh God.
And she recently set the kitchen on fire on a live.
Oh gosh.
To the point where it was in the papers and I heard the ambulance. So they
Right,
live
they
somewhere
heard the
out of town.
maybe he's pimping. Maybe so. Is he the pimp or no? Yeah, he'd probably be the one doing that. Yeah, that's lots of conspiracy theory levels.
I'll tell you because he's passed away. I knew a man who had a lot of money and he owned a production company, but like he funneled a lot of money through it, but he actually like purchased stuff.
Well, you have to. And if you, I mean, those dark, creepy motel rooms get pricey after a while when you're booking them for the month and not just the hour.
It's just the like I wonder where these people get their money from.
Yeah.
Like if you ask me, I'll tell you exactly. I go to work. You see these bags under my eyes? I earned them.
Right. Oh, killer, right. I thought I knew people who had screwed up relationships. Yeah.
Oh, those two are famous. Like if you ever get bored, see, I'm all up in Black Twitter, which is just Black people on Twitter. But if you ever get bored, and the real reason I'm into these two, is because I'm from a really, really whitewashed town. So it's weird to me to see someone who's a full-fledged gangster Crip who's from one of the whitest towns in LA. Like I'm from the real.
That seems like an oxymoron.
And the kicker, my grandmother lived on the good side of town. She had a 7-bedroom house. When she passed away, I redid her house. And I would stay in that house. I would stay in her. I would smoke blunts in the living room. It was this huge, giant house. One day, I had the whole house taped up. I had the back open, and I hear, "Pull over immediately! Pull over!" This young man got into a high-speed chase, and it ended about 20 feet from the back of my grandmother's brick because the property of her house oversaw like a main road, which turned into a main thoroughfare over the years. Yeah. So I was always intrigued in this young man's career because I saw him get arrested eye to eye, and he did time. He got in a high-speed chase, and in LA, the cops don't play. They do not play.
Right. Well, that makes me think about a different high-speed chase this week that happened in New York City that may or may not have been a real high-speed chase. Oh my God.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I saw that.
You didn't hear about Meghan and Harry's 2-hour New York City high-speed chase debacle? Like, how do you have you can't have a high-speed chase in New York City. And now the city's trying to sue them for basically being a hoax and using the police department as their own private security because they stopped at a police department to change cars.
But I don't know about New York, but LA, you can hire the cops as security.
Okay.
So, I don't know, so where I'm from, the cops are paid. I could get a motorcade. If you have money, I could get a motorcade to work. Just put flags on my truck.
This is for the sewing machine parade.
You pay him the cop.
Label it on flatbeds. Let's just
God. You give me the cops would put sewing machine stickers on their helmets and everything if you paid them.
That's funny.
In LA, the cops are for sale. And I know that because of the movie industry. They get paid. The motorcycle cops, they get paid so much money just to guard the set.
Yeah.
And they're all off duty, but they're still wearing their uniform and have their bike.
Makes sense. Yeah, so that's funny. I don't know. I'm not a Royals channel though. Yeah.
People who get subsidized by the people drive me mentally insane. And I know I'm Captain Nepotism, but I gotta get up like everybody else.
Right.
I have to earn all this crap in here.
Right. Some of it is generational, and some of it is new acquisitions.
It trips. They truly trip me out because Okay, so let's be real. On the UK side, Megan was given a hard deal. They weren't gonna like her no matter what because she wasn't what's her face. Who did
Oh, the
William?
girlfriend that he still would have been with if the newspaper hadn't tapped his phone and recorded their conversations, and she was like, "Nope, I'm out of here." That was funny too this week because he had that case in England. Oh, Killer! If I don't see the LAPD with House of Sewing on the side of their cars by next Monday, I'm going to be disappointed. They no. Is it next Monday? Oh, yes, for the Memorial Day parade. We want that.
If I paid him enough money, they would. I'd pay for that. I'd pay for that picture. I'd pay for that. If I could stand on my truck flexing like this, I'd pay. My muscles aren't even that big.
That's all right. Some flex is better than no flex. Oh, look at those baby guns.
Did anybody see that Johnny Depp said that he no longer needs Hollywood at the Cannes Film Festival? No, but I saw a picture of his teeth, and it made me feel better about myself because I have bad teeth.
Well, he's on tour right now with the Hollywood Vampires. He doesn't. What did they? Hollywood did him dirty because Amber Heard was a few shorts bad of a belfry, or a few bats short of a belfry.
What happens is when you put two crazy people in a room, you get nothing but excitement. They were both like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I couldn't imagine being. Do you know what's really funny? Could you be with somebody who was famous if you weren't on the same level as them? Like, could you, like, tomorrow be with like Leonardo DiCaprio or something?
Well, no, because I'm not 20 and he's not like if you're over 25. I don't want you policy. So that one would be a hard no. I'm too old for him. But
how old is Leonardo DiCaprio?
Leonardo DiCaprio is 48 years old.
Ooh, I'm gonna sip my coffee on that one. Do you know what's funny? I think like I couldn't. To me, if a young woman was like, "I'm 31 years old," I'd be like, "Too young, too young."
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I know if that depth situation doesn't prove that Hollywood has agendas, I don't know what does. But I mean, I think wasn't Hollywood built on agendas?
Yep. Like, they have since day one. If you think about it, they mold certain people to what they are.
Kilroy calls bullshit.
Oh, you think he's older? You know, the A word is wrong sometimes. The A word only goes by what's on Google or, you know. So the A word
she only knows what she has to work with.
Yeah, she's only as smart as the internet. Whatever that's worth. I'm so mad that my mic didn't work out. It looks cool though. Let's see if it works on my other camera.
Yeah, I mean, I think if the person was a real human, but I don't know who that would be. I don't mind riding around in like nice cars and having nice things. I just don't want you to be a arrogant asshole.
My father made way more money than my mom, and then the roles switched, and she made 10 times more money, and he never changed. They never changed. You know what I'm saying? So I could be with somebody that had 9 times more money than me, and I'd still be myself because I saw an example of that with my parents, you know?
Yeah, like I think it would be nice, but also more money, more problem. I don't know. I don't know.
That's real. No, that's real. Are you kidding me? The taxes I pay now, like I'm like, man, I'm gonna move back in my car.
Shit, I know. Well, in Oregon, you got to be extra careful now because if you owe the state more than $50,000, you're gonna get your name published to the state website. I'm like, that's just creepy. Why
they shame you? I always thought that was. I always thought that was weird though. Do they still show your mugshot if you get arrested? in
Oh
Oregon.
yeah, we were just talking about this yesterday at the lake. Yeah, yep, mugshots.com or whatever.
I worked 20 something years ago. I worked in downtown Portland, and I would buy the paper once a month that had all the mugshots in it. Because I worked downtown, I knew almost every other person.
Yeah,
I know that person. Oh, I know why they're crazy. Oh, okay, that explains why they
I've
were.
seen them be crazy. Yeah. I'm up. Oh, stay enjoy. Thanks for stopping by, Butterfly. Have fun until tomorrow.
Have a good one. Tomorrow I will be in my full Lucy coat and showing off my Stitcher. I just have to figure out how to get a camera over there. That reminds me, I have to fix my other camera.
You gotta start making a list and checking it twice.
Well, I have all this technology in here, and I used to always I take my own advice because I used to my father went from taking care of me to me taking care of my father. And I used to always tell him, like, because he was an electrical engineer, I'd always tell him, you're more concerned about the technology and less about the content you want to make. Because he wanted to go on YouTube, but he cared more about having a fancy camera and a million cords.
Oh, right. Instead of, like, you just gotta show up because you can be a good streamer and have a crappy mic.
Yeah.
But we prefer that you be a better streamer.
So I'm telling myself, because I have a ton of technology. Like right now, I'm watching The Abyss. I'm trying not to put my other TV on. I have another TV over here. I have the replay of the Dodger game going on. Like I try to tell myself, like, keep it simple, stupid. You know, because I have so much technology in this room. Like I pulled my camera out because I got bored. I pulled my old stringer. That thing's so obsolete.
Right. I know. Someday I keep thinking I'm going to get a new camera, but my original Canon Rebel SL1 that they don't even make anymore still works great. I'm like, I'll just get new lenses.
I invested a lot of money in this, and this thing works.
I like Canon.
This is the first Canon I've ever owned. I've owned nothing but Nikon, and I waited until my predecessor passed away to buy a Canon because he thought it was blasphemous.
Oh, that's funny. All right. What else did I do? All right.
Oh, sorry.
Eyelet stitched, and I made this sheared top in this house where I live in now, but a hot minute ago. But needed some straps because it doesn't stay up where it's supposed to. I should probably tack them down in the back, but I'll see if I can tie it around my neck and not want to feel like I'm choking. The more I find out about all the weird ass laws around the country, the more I'm content with staying in my little PANYNG bubble. Yeah, NJ. Fair. There's nothing wrong with that Bow tri-state area.
We have crazy laws here in California. We have crazy laws, and I feel I need to look to see how much gas is. Because I filled up my truck and it was, I was like, I'm moving. I am moving somewhere else.
Yeah, you guys do have expensive gas.
It's like almost $5.
Yeah, well, it's summer, and what is it? Usually prices go up right before Memorial Day and then come back down at Labor Day.
Check.
Oh, speaking of summer and fun stuff, did you hear about the missing human scaring the poop out of me. The missing 60,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate fertilizer from a train car that was going from either Wyoming to California or California to Wyoming, and it took them 2 weeks to realize that they were missing 60,000 pounds.
No, but whenever the intended target completely disintegrates, they'll know where it went.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I would be like, uh-oh. And you know what's funny? Now you don't want to know. Now you don't want to know where it goes because when they deliver it, it's going to hurt people, you know. All right, let's see if that mic works.
It's like this is water.
Be a bunch of screeching.
You tricked me.
This is the crummy part of. Let's see. Does it? Oh, it worked. No, but whenever the intended target completely disintegrates, they'll know where it went. Well, it
We
works
have
on my
action.
camera,
Yep.
so it's not a complete loss. It's not a complete loss.
Right. Do you
Well,
do you have a cable that you can plug it in? Oh, I'm thinking to hook it in for your stream that you can
Well,
plug it
this
in.
I have a million cables in here, a million, and because my predecessor had a studio with all kinds of fun stuff, I have every cord known to man. Every cord known to man.
That's what next week I'll try to get my HD or my Ethernet cord plugged in. Uh-oh, at least if I hear a boom coming from the west, I'll know somebody got wiped out. Serious, I know. And the talk that, like, how does it take them 2 weeks to figure out that it was missing? Like, I have so many questions. Like, this is an inside job.
To quote Jack O'Neill, the Pentagon has lost whole countries. Like, let's be real. I know I'm quoting Stargate, but like, let's be real. Like, our country has been like, oh, that didn't happen, and there's like a smoking crater. They're like, nope, I have no idea. No
See
idea.
No evil, speak no evil, hear no evil.
Like, our country is famous for being like, oh, I have no idea what happened. Plausible deniability. I literally learned that as a child because I would ask questions, and they would tell me, look, plausible deniability. Okay, learn it.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
do I have? Okay, I need to mend. This has been sitting in my mending pile since last year, and I'm terrified. I knit this sweater a hot minute ago, and in the seed stitch portion, there's another. Oh, Jiminy Christmas!
it looks good, but that's why I don't stitch. You see your face? The face you just made is the reason why I don't stitch. That Jiminy Christmas, right there, because I would be like, I would say some unholy stuff.
I trained myself to be a little bit polite. Oh,
do you know what really stops me from going off is when my son's in the room.
Yeah,
that's what's trained me to say mother trucker.
Right. I'm gonna mend this tomorrow. I need to actually pay attention to figure out how I want to fix the handful of holes in here. It was like superwash sock yarn, but something is.
Oh wow!
It's so cute.
They didn't.
I'm sorry. It's like hurts the eyes.
Do you think $35 is too much for ripped coveralls? Or I'm sorry, overalls. The button was missing.
Are these brand new coveralls that you are buying ripped? The answer is no. Why would you buy ripped clothes if it's new?
I passed a pair of overalls at the thrift at the swap meet, and I'm justifying it. They were like some brand in Paris. They probably were worth way more, and I love weird denim, but like the guy, I refuse to pay a certain amount of prices for things because China floods the market. Denim is cheap.
Yeah.
Denim is cheap. Like, I'm not buying like Japanese denim. I'm buying just regular old denim, you know?
Right.
And so I refuse to pay a certain price for things. And if something's ripped, I'm like, I'll give you $10 for it.
Yeah, I don't understand the fashion of buying pre-ripped clothes.
So on Facebook, I'm part of a group of old people. And I love it when like it's either a fashion show or the jeans. They're like, why are these jeans $3,000? You know?
I know, and they've been killer. They gave them to Kilroy. They cut him up with a box cutter and handed them back.
That's like my old work jeans. Like, I'll just give me a pair of jeans. I'll wear them for a year and give them back to you. They'll have a ton of holes.
Right?
They'll have burn holes from my joints.
Yeah, I just don't get it. But I don't know. It's not something we would patch stuff. My grandparents would have had a conniption. My one grandma got mad when I like wore a slip as like a top underneath a sweater and you could see the lace details. She's like, your underwear's hanging out. But
You know, you got me going when you started talking about grandmas that were born in different countries. My grandmother thought it was an insult that you didn't turn your jeans into shorts. She's like, "Why are you buying shorts when you could just get your jeans and turn them into like?" She
Right, this is what you do with ripped jeans. You cut them and then you fix them.
Oh, the stonewash era and the ripped era. She thought people had lost their brains.
Yeah.
She's like, "You're wearing holes in your jeans. Do you know that? Like, what is wrong with you?"
Right, you're an embarrassment, you slob. Like,
Imagine a seamstress, you know, it's like, what is this?
Yeah.
You're putting acid on your jeans?
Right, no.
The kids have slowly brought that back though, haven't they?
They're bringing back all the 90s baby goth aesthetic. Like, it's all coming. I'm like, no, leave it. It was good the first time. And now I just want, well, I'm just going to go back to living my baby goth dream because
I freaked out when, oh, sorry. When they brought back flat tops, first off, I think I was more mad because I didn't have the hair to show the kids how it's done.
Yeah.
But more, I was like, that hairstyle still looks crazy. But it made me feel old because kids were like, this is, you know, you would never understand. I'm like, bro, I was literally pretending to be Bobby Brown. You have no idea, kid. Get out of here.
Because you don't even know who Bobby Brown is, so shush your face, child.
Bobby Brown is me. He has COPD and he goes on stage, but he gets huffy and he's like,
yeah,
like he's me. He is me. Again, I'm
weird this.
That's awesome.
This is, yeah, orange silk with weird gold trims.
Let me switch my angle so I can do a fashion show.
Yeah. And all that's stopping me from wearing this is the snaps. But I probably need to put it on, and I can't do that right now. This isn't one of those streams, so I can fit the check the fit. All right, you're there for the tomorrow pile. What's next?
Man, that camera really washes me out. I look like Casper.
Yeah, the lighting on there is no good, and it's got a delay. There's a little lag.
It does. It's because the Mac computer, I have a ton of stuff plugged into it, and it hates it. It tells me that I have too much stuff plugged into it.
Stop abusing us. We don't like all these wires.
I'm like, stop talking. You're a computer. Okay.
All right. What's next in my pile of destruction?
So I was not joking when I said that, like, Lucy had this, like, super long coat, and so I recreated the coat. This is just the top piece, though, because I'm going to make a whole outfit.
Oh, that flower print is so cute.
But it's long. It's super...
Oh, Kiara, you're killing me. Bin Laden had better lighting than that.
This is like a weird, yet another impulse buy. I bought this off of Amazon.
You should have called my computer guys in the city. As long as it wasn't a Friday night into Saturday over Shabbos, they could have hooked you up. Okay, next in my pile. So the bottom have been hanging in my closet for years and years. I thought it was a dress. I didn't realize that Grandma had cut herself a pair of pants. That is this wool. But she was a tad bit shorter than I am. So I have to
She was shorter than you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my grandma was a few inches shorter. So the waist and the crotch rise was a little low. So I've got this sweatpants top to make it a little bit longer. But I think I need to go through my trim and add something to finish these seams off with, because this is just going to fray, and I don't want to do a French seam or a flat felt, so I think I'm just going to fold it. And
YouTube, this is a pair of scissors, okay? I just keep it in this.
Right, this is my scissor holster.
But I use these for everything.
Oh, pinking shears. Yes,
Forever.
I do have a couple pairs of those. I fell in love from corsets, those flat felled seams, especially if you do the seam on the outside, because I like French seams, but I don't like the bulk it adds to the inside, but I like everything being nice and smooth next to my skin.
Mm.
You know?
Oh no, I'm agreeing. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I like 1,000% agree with you. I have such sensitive skin. You would make fun of me. Like I'm an itchy dude. I can't. There's certain if it's itchy, I'm not wearing it.
Yeah,
I'm not going
I have
near it.
the same way.
I'd
They
be
wonder-
bad in like the 1800s military. They would have hated me. They would have
Oh,
shot me.
right.
They would have shot me. I'd be like, I'm sorry, sir. This is itchy.
Friendly fire squad, get ready. This one's got to go.
I actually do you own any like 100% wool, like the old or tweed coat or anything like that?
Oh, I mean, these pants are 100% wool, I'm pretty sure, because the moths got to them. I do, because I love to knit with wool. I knit myself 100% wool sweaters, legs too short to not dress comfortably.
Absolutely.
You wear an undershirt, or it doesn't.
You know, the grunge era was the greatest thing that ever happened to me because I have not stopped dressing like a slob since that era. And I'm not kidding you.
Well, that was just the new upscaled version of I'm a lumberjack and I don't care.
True. That's
It
the
was
one thing I miss about Oregon is that like they don't care what you wear. Like no one's checking your clothes. In California, you can't walk into certain places if you're not dressed up.
Yeah.
Like we still have restaurants and establishments where you have to wear a tie
Or in
and
a coat or
yeah. Needless to say, I do not frequent those places.
I don't frequent them frequently.
Well, you know, I took LA for granted, and then I started traveling around, and I realized the world wasn't as pretentious and didn't care.
Yeah.
So it changed me. And then when I moved back here, like I no longer reflect the values of this place, and so I clash with people.
Yeah, it happened. I think that's one of the good things about leaving where you grew up and seeing other places.
I did it. You know what? I was from a very sheltered, angry place. It was dude bro culture. Dude bro, tough guy, man up, walk it off kind of culture. And then the sad thing is, like, I moved back here and I see people that never left. They still think they're Tony Montana. They're still drinking a case of Bud Light. They got belly. They look like they're 6 months pregnant. I use them as motivation. I use those people as motivation.
Yes. I'm still stuck in the 90s, mid 2000s baggy thing. I don't understand how people can stuff themselves into clothes like a sausage. Yeah, see, you didn't. Then you must have missed like the crop tops with low-rise jeans, because those were like skin tight, because that was also like the heroin chic days, and I may or may not have tried to be that skinny until I realized like your bone structure is like this. You're not built like a rail.
If it makes you feel any better, I have the exact same issue because I have hips. So when I make clothes, I have to take my backside into consideration too. I've had to learn that while sewing.
Right, you need a full butt adjustment.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh crud, I forgot. I have cheeks. I forgot.
Gotta make the trunk big enough for the dump.
I did that with my last pair of overalls, and I was like, I need to change my blocks because my dimensions have changed.
Yeah, it is good to retake your measurements regularly, or to try to squeeze into your skinny clothes. And if they don't fit, then we got to have a self-reckoning. We're either gonna make new clothes or do a little cutting season.
I've been here's my problem. The older I get, working out just seems it's just depressing. And going to a gym, I like I'm that guy in the gym wearing all black with sunglasses on working out, and they're like, "Who let the gothic guy in here?"
That shouldn't matter. I mean, I don't like to go places, so I just have some plates and some bars and some free. I just have everything in my living room, and if it's
Me
too
too.
dusty, then I know I'm not touching stuff frequently enough. That's also
I've
motivation.
I've done that too, but then like my bench, it's a drying rack
Yeah.
on a hot day. Like it's just become a place to hang my clothes. I'll put my bar on it, and I'll hang a bunch of shirts on it.
Yeah.
I don't like going to
Yeah.
the gym because it like where I'm from, everyone's pretentious, and you get the movie star type. Everyone's buff.
Uh,
Everyone's buff, and I'm just like I'm dad bod. I smoke. I like a good cheeseburger. You know, I'm addicted to pancakes.
I don't remember the last time I ate pancakes.
Oh,
How we were degrading to the food for. We're not even at 2 hours in, and we're already getting to food. How did that happen?
it's because I brought my work banger. It's because I brought my work
Oh,
banger.
right.
And so because of that, I'm super hungry all of a sudden. And
Oh, the
so
cat's
because Butterfly isn't watching anymore, if you ever have a work bong and you don't want it to get stolen, buy a pink one and no one will ever steal it. Well, at least at my job.
Great.
Now I'm really intrigued to see how tinny it's gonna sound on my camera. But the problem is my other mic, I have mics that are studio microphones. Like the one I'm on right now is meant to be sung into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
there's
see
good
it.
mics and there's not good mics. All the gyms around here are basically for dude bros who want to act like they're hardcore. So, needless to say, I don't go to them. I'd have a damn aneurysm from the fakeness. Yeah, and probably got to be careful with the um, old needles from all the substance, all the juicy vitamins.
That goes on around here in mass. Still, it trips me out because that was my first real like I was a semi-sheltered kid, and imagine being in a locker room at 16, 17 and seeing people using intravenous
juicing.
drugs.
Yeah.
Like, come
Yeah.
on, you know? It was traumatizing to me as a kid. Kilroy, I'm the same way with the dude bros. That's the reason I don't go to the gym, because I probably know most of them and they're gonna want to talk to me and ask me questions.
Yeah, that's also why I just work out at home. I don't like to.
Isaiah's getting into working out, and I'm trying to encourage him to keep in, because I have weights at the house. That's why I bought the jump rope. I forgot, like I'm dead to rights with a jump rope.
Oh man, let's see here. I got so much stuff to work on, and I'm not set up for any of it because I have these stays that need to be need to finish drawing the lines, sewing the channels, and boning.
That
But I have
reminds
to find
me.
the pieces.
I have to finish this bad boy.
Cute.
Look how little that tiger head looks on this giant coat.
I know you need some embroidery to or some more something to. Needs more something, more cowbell.
Definitely more cowbell. When I finally do lose it and buy an embroidery machine, I'm gonna etch the house of sewing on it.
Yeah, that'll be good.
You know what though?
Today.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, when I got my embroidery machine, that I got one of the 7x11 ones instead of just the little one, because the 4x6, you just tap out of it so fast.
I almost bought a t-shirt press today, but I don't know if it was like one of those $30 ones off of Amazon or not. So I didn't want to get ripped off, so I didn't buy it.
Oh, so you at least made one good choice today.
Well, you know what? I do not make decisions out of ignorance. If I don't know about something, I will not purchase it. Like if I'm even on the fence, because I bought a lot of lemons in my day.
Yeah.
So I'm like anti-lemon. And if anyone ever if you ever follow me on the internet and you work at Michael's and you wonder why I buy all that upholstery thread, it's because I sell patches on stuff.
I've been watching these ladies who sew bags. I need to stop watching them because I'm like, I could do that, but all the hardware and all this stuff, I
Do you
have to
watch
stop myself.
I can't even say her name. It's Sia Schwag.
Oh, CSY. I know. I just came on my radar.
I watch her. I don't,
And seems
nobody,
legit from Australia.
yes, I watch her too. I want her sewing machine, the green one. Did she paint
Yeah,
that? We've had this
she
conversation.
did paint it.
I love.
Yeah, she did get it custom painted. I love watching them.
Same. Her and her sister, Shia Schwag, her and her sister, they live in Utah. They're just funny people. I love watching them.
Their intros are so cute.
They're like rappers. That's
and like driving either in the convertible or their giant flexing their giant pickup trucks with their own theme songs. Like, oh my god.
They're out in the middle of nowhere. They're out in the middle of that's desert life. I live like they do. Like we're out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. I have to have something to work that I feel like saying.
You know what's funny? Kilroy? Like I was saying before the stream started, if I wore this over the hill, I would get in a fight. Somebody would sucker punch me so hard, I would forget college completely. Completely. That would be the final straw. And because I have a Trump shirt, but I still haven't the cojones to wear it outside of my work. Because in my work, people know my shtick.
Right, it's just a joke.
They know I'm a goof, like especially because when I wear my Obama shirts, no one says a word to me in public.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's too much funniness. Let's see. We did that. Why do I have this on my list? White Men Can't Jump remake. What is that on my talking points for today? Like
I don't know, but hold on, where's the camera? They need to stop ruining my childhood. Stop coming after the 90s guys. Get your own culture, kids. Get your own culture. We had something. Do you know the 70s, 80s, and the 90s were all separate in a weird way. They like melded into each other, but as the eras went on, they were the 80s were brown, and the 90s all of a sudden everybody was wearing like bright colors and stuff.
Yeah.
We were dressed like Punky Brewster in 1992.
Yes. Oh, well, because Punky Brewster. Oh, high tops with pigtails. Oh my god. Jeepers.
Everything's changed. Everything has changed.
Yeah, it has. But then at the same time, everything's also just stayed the same. People are still schmucks, and
I laughed. I had a cross colors like cut off coat. It was a weird denim coat. If I ever see it, I'm gonna buy it. Bruno Mars, when he was in his fro phase, would wear it all the time, and I'm like, am I that old that I lived long enough to see my coat come back into style?
I guess the answer is yes.
Oh, it made me feel 100 years old when Bruno Mars was wearing it.
Alexa, I don't care for it.
How old is Bruno Mars?
Bruno Mars is 37 years old. On that musical note, I can help search for Bruno Mars on Amazon.
Please don't, thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Alexa, thank you.
You're so welcome. Your kindness really gives me a charge.
So I guess he is young enough, old enough that you might have had some vague memories of that same jacket, because 37 is...
But I was in the 6th grade when I wore that.
Yeah, so he would have been like...
5 years younger?
6.
Yeah. I'm clocking his age. He's way older than I thought he was. Oh,
It happens. What am I doing? All right, I'm trying to find some stuff to piece in the holes for this. Because I came unprepared. I thought things were going to take longer, even though I knew that they weren't. And that sweater, I was going to look at it and then just shake my head and want to cry and not want to work on it.
You know, another reason why I put this shirt on was because I didn't know what I wanted to wear. And shirts like this are a guaranteed barn burner. And I wore my Obama shirt 2 weeks ago, and I ran my mouth, and I was like, oh, I have a bunch of political t-shirts. You have no idea how many I...
Right. So you might as well just break them out of the closet because they're not going to wear themselves.
I have a Mitt Romney t-shirt that, like, starts fights.
Why?
It's his face. It's literally his face.
Oh, Sure, let's piece some weird pink on there.
But it's more controversial because I live in a Mormon town. So people literally stop what they're doing and they're like, why is he wearing it? And then I jokingly say that I'm the kid in the family photo, and it really ticks people off. No, because Mitt Romney adopted a kid from Africa.
Oh, right.
And people are all politically correct about it. And I crack jokes sometimes because I'm from this place where we used to joke.
Right, we're to make funny great again.
I try to look on the funnier side of the brighter side of life because we're all on the cross singing.
Yep. Please look on the bright side of life. I know. Oh, Freya Fruffers just jumped in the wrong spot. Well, that was like the ladies at the Chrissy Mayer show over the week who she was doing a shtick about that person who I refuse to want to talk about right now. And these folks got up and were like lambasting her, and she made this terrible jokes. Wow, I'm not anti-people. I'm afraid of being fat, so I'll admit it. I am fat phobic. I am deathly afraid of being obese.
Okay, let's have
unfortunately,
a talk.
Most of my life is overweight, but I'm afraid of myself fat. Yes, go ahead.
No, let's have a talk about it because I think about this all the time. Because whoa, I need to bring my other mic stand back. I come from a long line of people who were aggressive fat shamers.
Yeah, me too.
My mother was a large person. She lost over 200 pounds, but she got breast cancer.
Oh, right, yeah.
And she never gained the weight back. And she flat out, now she jokes about it. And she's like, oh, it was the greatest weight plan loss ever. If you've ever seen anyone go through chemo, it's the most awful thing on earth.
Yeah.
You know? But
it doesn't help that. Oh, go, you finish.
No. That, my whole point is, like, I have an advantage because on my dad's side, he was bone skinny. My dad was bone skinny. So I always have I have a metabolism like a hummingbird.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always been mid, almost chubby, but skinny. I when I get big,
the skinny fat.
I look too much pregnant. When I gain weight, it's either my stomach or my butt.
Welcome to the club, kid.
and in my 40s, it's all stomach.
That's the problematic kind, though, because that's the medical, legal, political, election fortification, financial. We're here for fun, to sow some stuff. If you learn something, it was purely an accident and not.
Oh, I'm so mad this stupid microphone came with the holder and everything. I always wanted one of those. I felt like an official YouTuber.
I know, but I got one of those crappy mic stand holders off of Amazon, and then the tripod of it was stupid, and I broke it after like 4 weeks. I had to take it off my list of things on my downstairs area.
See, pieces are already falling off. You know, I have professional mic stands. Like, this is literally on a real mic stand, and I'm crying about
so
this.
Why do you buy crap when you've got the best stuff you could have?
I didn't know.
Buy crap.
I didn't know. You know why?
But you knew you didn't need it.
I recently went back and watched a live stream, and I'm loud as F. But it's because I told you I have a lily ass voice, so I have to project myself because I really sound like this. I
And
really
that
do.
would be fine. So this is the ASMR sewing channel, and
I'm not trying to put people to sleep. I'm an animated human being. It's not my fault that my voice is high. Do you know what? I speaking of Trumpers and people who voted for McCain Palin, I have a friend that I went to high school with. He walked in this garage. We were talking for 20 minutes. He looks at me and he's like, your voice has not changed in 25 years. That's not cool. That is not cool.
there's nothing wrong with that. Your voice dropped once, and then it was done. Oh, kill it, Ray. Sage words have never been typed. If you get advice from us, you're like the blind following the dumb. Yeah.
On one of my old biker vests that I can't flash on YouTube, I have a patch that says, "Don't follow me, I'm lost too."
Yep.
Which is like
Absolutely true.
just because I'm speeding in that direction doesn't mean that I know where I'm going. I'm just doing it with
Right.
confidence.
Yes.
I'm just doing it with extreme confidence. Speaking of which, the weather's getting better. And to my brothers and sisters in LA, if you're going to spend $40,000 on a Harley, learn to ride it. I see you guys on the side of the road. I saw at least 4 people this morning. and I know you're a rookie because you don't know how to maintain a motorcycle.
Well, I mean, I guess if it's what was the word on the street? If it's a new Harley, then it shouldn't need to be in the shop all the time. So,
Well, people buy used ones, but there was one where I saw this guy on the side of the road, and it was a 2023 that I've seen advertisements for where I'm like, that guy spent $45,000 on a motorcycle.
oh my goodness, yeah, no.
That's what I said. I drove by with I literally was rubbernecking. I'm like, oh, because I've never seen it in person. That's how expensive it is.
Yeah.
And I knew some Yahoo in my town would buy it. I knew.
Only a
agree.
car.
Do you know what's really funny? That's why bikers have rules like you're not allowed to be seen in a car. You take your bike everywhere you go. That means on a Tuesday, if you're going to work, you're taking your bike with you,
Yeah.
That's how we always jokingly say, like, you never see these guys on a Wednesday. You never see on their bike on a Wednesday. If there should be 50 Harleys in front of the grocery store on a Tuesday,
Well, right. So what? I don't understand motorcycle culture. Maybe it's because I've never been on one, so I don't get it. But if you can't fit an entire 12-pack of toilet paper and your groceries, what's the point? If you can't take your pet to the vet in a carrier, I don't get it.
But I feel like that about cars. As someone who owns a 25-foot long truck, like I don't know how people do certain things. Like when I go to the grocery store, I get giant. I get 4 or 5 cubes of soda. I get 6 things of water. And I still have room in my truck. I don't know how a person with a normal car could do that.
Yeah.
Motorcycle culture. The best way it's ever been explained to me is where else can a banker put on leather, get on his bike, and go scare people in the next town over on the weekend? Literally, that biker culture. To a lot of people, it's more about image. And see, that's the problem with wannabes, is that you're more concerned about the look and not about the technicality behind it. And those are the guys on the side of the road who don't know that they flooded their bike, or that not enough throttle, or they did something stupid that's easily fixed.
They bought a bike. I might be insane, but I'm not insane enough to get in a 2-wheeled vehicle that goes 75 miles per hour. Exactly. Yeah, no thanks.
Do ever since my car accident really changed my life and it calmed me down. I don't have the need. I don't have the need to feel like I'm in Tron anymore.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. See, that's the problem. It's an adrenaline junkie thing. And but the price is if you mess up your street pizza.
Yeah. And the places where people ride without helmets, like at Sturgis and all this stuff, what the? No.
because of where I live, we've had helmet laws since I was a little kid. But yeah, you go to Vegas, the second you cross over the Nevada border, people are taking their helmets off at state line.
I'm getting laughed at from my kitchen. My kitchen's laughing at me right now.
People who are always looking for posers are usually posers themselves.
Ouch!
No, I have a mind your own business rule. I have a mind your own business rule. That's why I felt like it was weird when I saw all those Vago students and they gave me all respect. It made me feel like old man. All the old stuff is still in place. You know, it was just weird. Yeah. It was weird. You are right though. That's why
old man on the block.
There's somebody online who absolutely hates me because I grew up around the biker culture, and they were hang around a certain biker club.
Ugh.
And and that's another thing. Like the biker culture is like the military. Don't ever become a biker if you have a kid.
It's a reflex hammer in my basket of notions, because you never know when you're gonna need to do a neurological test for somebody. Lack of a helmet law is a great thing for natural selection. I guess yes, that would be fair.
In 2007, I fell on Las Vegas Boulevard, and if I wasn't wearing a helmet, I would not be sitting here having this conversation. And you don't have to wear a helmet in that state, at least back then. I don't know about now. I guarantee you, because Nevada has slowly turned into California. So
California keeps seeping over its boundary. It can't. It's too big for its britches, and it's like slowly oozing out. It's like the blob.
The initial like push was San Jose. People left San Jose in droves, and they literally just went east. And there is a town that sprouted on the other side of the Nevada border, and it is all Californians. And I swear that they helped turn the last election. They're the reason Nevada is blue.
Yeah, and most of Nevada's like, could you just please leave? I just don't like how the rich folks from California need to stop moving to blue-collar towns and driving up the cost of real estate and building McMansions, because there's hardworking people who can't afford to pay their rent, like in Bend or whatever. Like, just
I get it. No, I get it. I think that's where my friend moved to. I think that's exactly where she moved to. But trust me, I get it. Like, in Puerto Rico, they're having the problem with Americans are moving there.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico's like New Zealand. It's beautiful, but the Puerto Ricans can't afford to live there.
Right. I think it's an island. It's not like they've got extra. You can't like build out. Well, I wonder if that's why Hawaii had this whole thing that they're going to start shipping homeless folks who don't have family in the islands back to the mainland. We're like, we can't support you. Back to the mainland you go.
Wow. I can see that, but that's hardcore. What if they're Native Hawaiian?
Well, I think it's folks who don't have any other family, because there's so many folks like who go there and just plan on like living on the beaches with nothing. I'm still wondering what they're thinking, moving their asses to Las Vegas.
Oh, they're just the A's. The Oakland A's have moved to Las Vegas.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry, sports references, but I don't understand.
I need to go buy that hat. I actually might go see them. They're closer now. That's a 4-hour drive. Oakland is far from my house.
Right? Yeah, it is. And that's still not Northern California.
And I know that because I know exactly how far it is from my house to San Francisco, because I've done that drive 100 times.
You're like 9.5 hours in the car?
Oh, it's forever. But it's more fun when you have a good car mate, somebody who
a good co-pilot, and
someone who loves Greasy Spoon like you do. Time flies. But yes, Vegas is 2 trips. The first trip there is like 10 minutes. It's a 4-hour drive. You're like, I'm going to Vegas, because at night you go over a hill, and when you see state line, you have hit the state of Nevada, because they have casinos.
Right.
But it's still like an hour, 45 minutes to Vegas. But when you finally hit the last valley and you see Vegas, like it's like the movies. It's lit up at night, you know, you
Yup.
can see the pyramid, you
Yeah,
know.
it
It's
is
something
nice.
it's something to see. But it's closer.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Raiders are like the Raiders are it's like joining a gang, okay? You never get jumped out and don't wear the wrong colors. And don't let your friend see you wear the wrong colors. Because Marquette and I, like, I've been threatening for years to take him, and I'm gonna take him to because he's more of a Raider fan than I'll ever be. And I'm gonna take him to Las Vegas to go because they have a beautiful stadium there. And now the Golden Knights are there. It trips me out that they have sports teams in Vegas because when I was a kid, they were worried about sports betting, but now because we have cell phones, you could be anywhere and have a compulsive gambling habit.
Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely. You just need an internet connection.
Yeah, because they go off your bank card,
Yep.
you know, and that's a new way for the casinos to rob you.
Right.
Literally in your living room, literally in the comfort of your living room, you know.
Right. Well, you can still afford to pay the bills for your living room. What?
I don't know if I could live in Vegas because Vegas is too much of a debaucherous town for me because everything I like to do is there. I don't even drink anymore, but I would go gamble. I gambled when I lived in Oregon. I'd go to Dottie's and go play poker.
Why do I still have this shirt?
Oh, that's amazing.
I know, it's cute, which is why maybe I'll sit and patch this hole real quick in this lace. They don't have the right color thread in front of me. Who cares?
It's gonna be interesting, and I hope they give the A's a dome.
Oh, right, because everybody's going to get skin cancer and sunburned if they're outside.
Playing in Vegas in 100, it's like Iraq. It gets 120 out there. Like Vegas.
Oh yeah, easy. I was listening to some podcast earlier, and now they're offering online gambling to 18-year-olds when casinos won't let you in until you're 20. I know. I was in Vegas before I was 21, and you could be in the casino, but you couldn't be on the floor. So we had to like walk through the pathways.
I was thinking about that because I wanted to take Isaiah to Vegas, but the only place we'd really be able to go is like
the shows.
Yeah, and the Circus.
Mm-hmm.
I would laugh. I could take him to go see the RuPaul. What are they calling it now? Because it's not just drag. It's like now it's like a Circus Soleil. They have this whole thing going on with RuPaul.
Is it kid friendly? Oh, I guess he's like a teen. He's not a little kid because there was that whole thing last week about the kids at RuPaul's DragCon in LA, and there was adults wearing clothing that should not a toddler or little kid see adults wearing.
Somebody paid,
in my opinion.
I refuse to pay that much money to go see drag queens when I can go to the bars because they all headline at bars around here and go see them for $5. You know, like somebody paid $200 to do that.
That's weird.
You know what, Kilroy? That's actually ingenious. I've been thinking about doing that because I just like the chance, and I'll put a gang of nickels in it, so I'll get the reward, the century reward. You know,
right?
I was thinking about getting an old slot machine because I'm addicted to this. I don't even like when you hit the button. I'm that a-hole who pulls the slot on the side.
Right, you need the old-fashioned machine. Don't give me one of those newfangled digital machines.
They do both. For nostalgic weirdos like me, the digital machines have an arm, but they're useless.
Okay.
You can pull it in it digitally responds, but you can just hit the button, it'll do the exact same thing.
Yeah. I know, that's the one thing. I miss not having a touch screen on my monitor, but I'll take 16-inch real estate of a monitor instead. This computer's a beast. I love it.
I'm so happy for you that you got it. We haven't had one interruption or jump or skip or.
Well, my other computer was from 2017. So my the computer I've been streaming on the past couple of weeks, I think was 2013, and it was refurbished back when I bought it, and my other one was newer, but the specs on this one are just out of this world. And I'm not even hardwired into the internet today. Oh, I keep wanting to put on all these cute shirts, but I can't do any wardrobe changes right now because I don't need to tell you folks why.
I'm waiting for my Colin Kaepernick. It's so hot. You know, the weather does not know what it wants to do with itself. It was 55 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time I got to the SWAT meet, it was like 75 at like 9 in the morning.
That's more than my high for the day. It's been 90 for the past couple of weeks, and then for the next 70, whatever, it's going to be 70s, mid to low 70s in the daytime, and like in the 40s and 50s in the nighttime again.
Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 85 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ay, ay, ay.
Muggy. It's just more like I'm not used to the humidity, and
you should not talk about humidity, or Kilroy's gonna like flex a muscle, and so we're gonna get yelled. Yeah.
Well, Californians are wussies because we have dry heat like Arizona. So the second it gets humid, I'm like, what is this crazy weather? And because of all the particulates in the air is unhealthy.
The pollen season is. My car is yellow in the mornings right now.
It's so bad. And you know what's funny? Every time someone's like, it's hazy, I'm like, that's not haze. That's smog and ash. Welcome to California. Yep. Like it's gross. Our sky is so gross. This time of year makes me miss living in Oregon or Arizona because the sky was just beautiful in both places.
Yes, this is one of the years where fire season hasn't started yet, so the air is still nice. Though they must have been doing controlled burns the other day because I smelled smoke in the air, and I was like, where's the fire?
It's 64.
So weird. Oh, that is surprisingly low humidity. Only 43%. You can go outside and not want to like die of your own sweat.
I'm just not here.
No, if you're not used to it, then anything above like 20% feels like you're dying. But
I'm a desert dweller, so being sweaty all the time makes me want to jump out of my own skin. I'm just not used to it. Like it's a wetness. Like when it's a dry heat, you know, you sweat, but it dries off eventually.
It does. Yeah. Except anything less than 100 is fine, but anything over 100, even with the dry heat, it kind of blows. When it's like 110, you kind of just want to curl up and die.
I've been thinking about it. Like I'm gonna be live streaming from my closet,
right where the air conditioner is,
because it gets gross here. It gets gross. Or like 7 o'clock is a perfect time.
Yeah,
you know, I do
cool off again.
But when it's like 100 something outside, it gets so hot. Because I have no hair, I just get endless rivers of sweat, you know?
That's what the do-rag is for. Or just bring back one of the terry cloth sweatbands. Just embrace it. Get your little wristies and your headband and just do it like 80s basketball style.
So I have a question. How offensive would it be if I wore like full Yasser Arafat headdress? Because really it's just a cloth with a roped piece of cloth around it. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's not even a cultural thing. That
I know. I think I got this at a secondhand store somewhere many moons ago. And it's got ruched in the back. It's super cute, but
that's awesome.
Maybe I'll wear it tomorrow. I just can't. I want to change my clothes, but I can't right now. So I'm live streaming, and this is not the OnlyFans channel.
I think about that all the time. Like, there's like things I want to put on, and I'm like, first, this is not a fashion show.
Right. And second, are you wearing the undergarments to be able to make it happen? I think you could
Okay,
pull off the Arafat. Yeah, maybe just make it like a red and white instead of the black and white of the
that's my
Palestinian
thing.
colors.
Like, how would I not make it culturally offensive? Like, I have a ton of fabric. I can make it super gay. I can make it super like.
Oh, might as well. I mean, it's almost June. We're getting ready to like pink wash everything and rip money off of rich gay folks. So
Don't even
just
get me started. No, it's okay. So Pride has turned in. They treat Pride like they treat Trekkies. They know
yeah, it's a
Trekkies
cash
are.
grab.
They
Yep.
know Trekkies are established. They know Trekkies
Yep.
have money. Like,
Yep.
honestly, I'll probably never go to a Star Trek con again because people go there and spend $20,000. People will go there and spend 10. They'll go there and spend like that's insane to me. Like
Yeah.
that, so maybe I'm a crazy person. I don't know.
No, I think marketing works and they know that adults who generally don't have kids frequently have disposable income.
Yeah, or someone like me who only has one and is not married anymore. Like
Right, still yeah.
once my ex-wife and I broke up, I was rich all of a sudden. I'm
Yeah, they
kidding.
just sort of, but that's okay. We won't hold it against you.
If the IRS is listening, I'm kidding. No, I'm honest on my
I
taxes.
own nothing.
No, but that's why that's a real reason why I hate Donald Trump because I paid 20 times more taxes than he did. Let's do the math. 20.
Yeah,
Like they broke me.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about those three-letter agencies because.
But anyways, no. But if I started rocking, do you think Pride events are way too many? Yes.
Yep, let me hide inside like the cat I am. Yes, exactly. I'm just gonna like groom myself in the corner, take a nap, and eat some food.
It's become so popular that it's offensive.
But anyways.
Whoa. Hold on. No, but if I started rocking, do you think Apple computers? I know you're listening, Apple.
Oh, sugar snaps. Hold on,
It's
I'll
'cause I have-
BRB.
Okay. I still will never. Oh, see, I will never get used to this thing. I always put my elbow on it. A keyboard that I can walk around the room with was a bad idea for someone like me. But yeah, Pride, at least from my experience, from what it was in the late 90s and what it's turned into now, it is 100% a cash grab. Because those same people that were kids are now established and have money, and they dump oodles of money into these companies who don't care about you. Verizon doesn't care. You know what? I am an avid Dodger fan. I know they don't care about any community except for their own, and that's okay. I agree with you. There are too many. Here in LA, they have whole schedules now. They have whole schedules where you have to look up and see certain events. It's not necessarily, I don't know, it's just been do you think when something becomes commercial, is it ruined? Does it like I remember Coachella when it was just mud and almost a free concert, and look at it now. Look at it now. I wouldn't go if you paid me. I wouldn't go if I was headlining, I wouldn't go. Because it's so commercial. Stagecoach too. Anybody that's into country western music, Stagecoach was about a bunch of locals that would come out and sing out in the middle of the desert. Look at Stagecoach now. It's crazy to think how commercialization has ruined things. I don't know. It's just it bothers me how they. I've participated in too many music arguments to argue the finer point of selling out and not selling out. See, but music's different. That is true, though. I just remember that you know what? I'm gonna tell you, as someone who used to go to a lot of festivals, it's the price that kills me. Like, I am not a Beyonce fan, but I wouldn't pay man, people are paying $900 to go see Drake, and they're not even sitting close. Like, I saw this thing on Twitter that made me laugh so hard. This guy was like, I paid $800 to see Drake, and the person underneath it was like, you paid $800 to listen to Drake because he was so far away. You needed binoculars. I don't know. Are the venues getting bigger? Would you pay that much money to go see Beyonce? It's not necessarily my thing, but you know, maybe I'm just old and jaded, and I have space issues now, and I don't think I couldn't go to a festival like I used to. I don't know if I could hang out like I used to. I used to go to festivals for days at a time, and I don't think I could now. Even if I brought my trailer with me, I don't know if I could do it. It depends. It depends on what it is. If I had a hotel and I could come back and leave and go as I please, yeah. But with the way most festivals are, you can't even leave once you're in there because they have you captured. And they want you to buy their $20 water and their $15 hot dogs. I mean, let's face it. It was going to become a commercial eventually, unless the Taliban participated in Pride events. Eventually, Verizon, Comcast, and Bud Light, Smirnoff, we're going to sponsor them. Okay, so in one light, I'm okay with it because it completely takes over the city. It's hilarious. Everybody's gay for a month or two. And then on the other side, I'm that geek wearing a flag that's like, we used to be cool, man. We used to be cool. And look at us. I feel like I'm like in a Spinal Tap. Like in the Spinal Tap movie.
Right.
Where's that line between being over? Do you think because of, I don't blame the internet for everything, but do you think because of the internet, people are more readily available to go do things now?
Like, no, I think that we just hear about it more. I don't think that's...
Like, I went to Coachella pre-internet when it was just a bunch of dirty people in the desert on things that were illegal and semi-illegal.
That's good. Yeah.
It was just dance music.
Right. Yeah. I know. We just would go to raves and just go to clubs and dance and just, I think we all, I mean, that was just before there was, if you didn't share it on the internet, people didn't believe that you did it, but that was a different time. Let's face it, it was gonna eventually become, everything's commercial. Oh, this is funny. The Taliban participated in Pride events. Eventually, Verizon, Comcast, Bud Light, Smirnoff were gonna sponsor them. Oh, funny. Well, I mean, what did they need big corporate? Well, the CIA already sponsored the Taliban. They're
every hockey team has a Pride night now. Every baseball team. Except for in Atlanta, of course, or Texas. Let's be real.
Right. Because I don't think it's right to... Why? Forcing that on folks who aren't interested is like forcing people to pray in schools.
See, and I in a way that I agree with you. It's different. Like, when they have Pride in Miami, every other person is gay there. When they have Pride, like at a baseball game in San Diego, people may not know this, it's gay. That's where it's like Palm Springs by the beach. It's just rich, super rich people.
Well, that was like who was it? One of the ambassadors, whoever, was like talking to the representatives from Saudi Arabians, being like, every time we talk to the Saudis, we need to make sure that we talk about like gay rights and stuff. And I'm like, these people are not interested in what we're trying to show. Like the way, granted, I mean, they do terrible things and they've got some interesting viewpoints,
but we don't live there. We don't. I'm not trying to be mean, and I think people think I'm mean when I say this, but like, I would never go into your house and tell you what to do. They're not us, and people live
right.
You know, people in Denmark live different than we do. I talk about it all the time. I dated a woman who was Swedish. Let me tell you, she could have been from the face of Pluto. She was so different. She was so different because they do things different over there, you know?
Yeah, we can't expect foreign dignitaries to bow down to what our what is it? The DEI, like, and I think like, why do we want to be like communist Russia and bring everybody down to the same of having nothing? Like being able to equally suffer or equally fight for your right to be successful is not the same as dividing everything that everybody has.
So I have a question for you. Recently, the Dodgers have Pride Night, okay, and they have for 10 years. This is their 10-year anniversary. There is a group
the nuns,
drag queen.
yeah, I've heard. Yes,
denied access.
Yep.
Anyone who lives in LA, like that's weird to not see them at a game. They're everywhere.
But I guess the Dodgers decided that the millions of dollars from the Mexicans, who are mostly Catholic and are feeling insulted, their money was worth more than the handful of people from the drag nuns who were.
And no one supports the Dodgers more than the people who live within walking distance of the stadium. No one.
Yeah,
no
and
one.
They're not the drag nuns.
Nope. Because Cesar Chavez Drive literally goes past Dodger Stadium, and if you make a right, you're in the neighborhood. You are in what is I call real LA.
Yeah.
And no one supports the Dodgers more than Mexican people. And it's not even like Salvadoranians. No, it's Mexican people. No one. Well, Korean people too. Because Koreatown's right there.
They're still religious too. So many of them are religious too.
I do not watch my local news anymore, so I subscribe to them on YouTube. So I get these stories now on
YouTube. So you can get the highlights.
I felt bad because our Channel 5, they talk about local issues. They're like they've always been like a sub, like, you know, a second standard station because they're not NBC, they're not ABC, they're KTLA 5. They're an independent channel, and they always have been since the 50s. And so they're more about local LA. So you get less fluff with them. They still have fluff, but they'll show you all the real stuff.
I know. Oh, the funny, thinking of the Killer Ray's last comment, we have to add not Bud Light, Nike and Adidas, because I don't know. If you are born as maybe, where am I going with this? I'm just gonna be offensive because this is my channel. Sorry, folks. If you don't have chesticles, if you didn't undergo secondary gynecomastia, whether drug use or you were a fat boy or you were born with X chromosomes, do you need to try to model swimsuits for us? I don't know if we're interested. Like, I don't know. All right.
Since I've already been canceled, I've been canceled. See, but it's different because I'm super, super gay, but I had accepting parents, and so I reflect the people around me, and my parents were uber conservative. Uber. I'm not conservative in any way, shape, or form. I'm not, but I see the reasoning behind it. And I agree with what Gilroy was saying. You have to know your audience because most people that go to, I didn't think about it up until you said it, but yeah, most people who are Dodger fans are, and most there's a Korean church right up the street from my house, hardcore Christian church.
Yeah.
Actually, there's another one on the old road because I saw an ad for it, and they have a giant cathedral, and I was like, I drive past that thing every time I go to the dispensary, and I didn't realize how big that church was. And I saw advertisement for it on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, that's literally on the other side of my house. Let me click. There's a cathedral on the other side of my house. where every Sunday, like 500 or 600 people go to church.
Oh, that is a big church.
I had no idea. I see the cars.
Right.
I agree, though. You have to know your audience. But one of the reasons I'm hesitant to say certain things is because I know that my point of view, my way of life isn't the only way to live your life. Like, live your life, girls. Like they say on the channel that I watch, like, live your life. Like, don't let other people judge you. But I don't push I have a very specific way of life. I don't push it on people. And that's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line.
I think I get that. Yeah, because I'm not anti anything, but I come from that day where we didn't lead with how we were our protected special class first. It was first, are you a good people? And the folks who could have flexed the most protected classes are the ones who are the most of like, just leave me alone. I just want to live my life.
That's still my thing. But of course, because you and I are the same age, we're from the generation of come as you are.
Yes.
No matter who you were, just show up and we could figure it out then,
Right.
And
yeah, that's not today.
But again, is it because we're of a certain age and we're just telling kids to get off our lawn? Or is it like, because the thing that scares me is these people are going to grow up still demanding things of other people, and society is going to take a hit.
Seriously, like what are these kids going to be like? Actually, well, at the rate they're going, they're going to have altered themselves so much that we're going to have a generation that like has no kids.
I think that was inevitable, though. I think as human beings, I think that's inevitable because we don't like ourselves. So we do everything to run away from ourselves. If you think about it, like Americans, if you ask an American, where are you from? They will tell you everything their ancestors were. They won't say, I'm from Des Moines. Yeah. I'm from, Poughkeepsie.
Yo. Let's see here. Kilroy, I will never understand leading with label. Oh, no, I missed one. I think whomever in the Dodgers organization invited the drag nuns didn't do their homework. Having them come to a ball game full of Catholic fans would result in blowback never before seen. It did, and that's why they got kicked out.
They'll fight.
Never. Oh yeah, I'll never understand leading with your labels. Let me know who you are, what your hobbies are, what books you've read lately. I care about that a billion times more than your labels, 100%. And actually, we've been reading The White Pill by Michael Malice, which is pretty good and a very interesting.
I think because I was raised Roman Catholic, I have this guilt-driven thing of not wanting to hurt everybody's feelings. I have this like super, but I'm an extremely direct person. So if you poke and prod me enough, I'll be like, all right, we'll tell you what you didn't want to hear.
You asked for this. Now you got it.
How is dangerous with me? But again, I believe that you should be able to do whatever you want as long as you're not harming anyone or animals. I have to add animals. Leave animals alone. If you're not eating it, stay away from it. Or raise it.
Yes, harming people and harming kids. Yeah, kids, animals, and.
But anything else?
Yeah, just hurting anybody. We don't. Yeah.
But besides that, like, your inalienable right to be crazy, like just like I said about a tasty suicide earlier, like you want to eat a pastrami sandwich every day. Like that guy I knew in Tillamook that drank butter soup, he didn't live to be my age, but he
enjoyed every minute of it. So yes,
so I dance on that line because I believe in freedom. I used to talk about this guy all the time. Do you remember Marion Barry? He was a mayor.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, the crackhead guy.
Yeah. Okay.
That shouldn't be why I remember you talking about him.
because the media goes out of their way to trash everybody. He stood for freedom of speech more than anyone else I've ever known in my life. Because in the 90s, he would send black cops to defend people. So the KKK would show up. The freaking white knights would show up from Georgia. They were protected by the cops. Because Marion Barry understood about freedom of speech, especially in Washington, D.C. Like, you have
the place where it should be the most right. That should be the example and the bastion, rather than these kangaroo courts for stupid things and all the. I don't like how the judicial system is being weaponized and is becoming like a political, a means to take out your political opponents.
Exactly.
Like we have elections for a reason. Let the people decide.
The problem is that nothing gets done. Kevin McCarthy is from Bakersfield is an hour drive over the hill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, his constituents don't care about the fact that he's making alliances with these people. They just want their farmland. They need water.
Right.
That's what they care about, because they literally are. They're the ones that raise the cows, that have the lettuce. They're the ones that like make our food.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they don't care about politics, because if you go, I go over there, they don't care who you are. They don't care what you are. They just want to be able to work.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. We've lost.
You're right. Politics have lost their mind. They've lost their brain.
Yeah. Politics ruins everything. But what's the populist plan of like making America great again? Or is this just ship sunk because the rest of the world, China can do stuff, has industry that makes all the things that we have. India can do stuff. What do we have left?
It happens in the 80s though. We did it to ourselves because we geared ourselves towards consumerism. Do you know, it still makes me want to cry. People thought malls were going to last forever. People thought we literally outconsumed ourselves. There's nothing more to consume because we don't produce anything. And that's part of the problem. Like you can't blame, because it's not just China, it's Japan. Japan owns the size of like Iowa, and like Japan owns us just as much as China does.
Yeah, you know, and now they're coming and buying our farmland. Whatever Bill Gates hasn't bought, China has.
You know, we had the state of California had massive contracts with China and Japan, and to punish us, Trump kind of canceled them in a way, and it crippled California. It did for a couple of years, you know, because we are a massive producer of beef, lettuce, soy, alfalfa, and hay. We produce massive amounts of alfalfa.
Yeah, all things we need to sustain our people that we don't need. Why do they they're islands that can't all make their own food.
Yes, Kilroy.
People
yes.
Traded the future of their descendants for cheap, crappy, tacky malls. Yes.
And the convenience of it. It was the convenience of it, though.
I know. And going to Hot Topics used to be one of my favorite places to go look around, even though everything was crap, except for I bought a dress there, and I still own it.
I never understood. I bought a Sublime shirt, and I'll never forget. My dad was like, "Oh, did you get that in Long Beach from the band?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Then you're a poser if you bought that at a Hot Topic." But he was telling me though, because I used to go to shows, and when you bought the shirt, it was made there.
Right. They had the press in the back. They're like, "Okay, what size do you want, kid?"
$45.
Right. Okay. Should we have since I'm getting hungry, we'll have a shilling for food. If you can find these lobster crackers, they're actually made of mostly tapioca starch, and they have prawn flavor and salt and Uncle Nigel's favorite ingredient, favorite white powder, the MSG. These are really good. They come in big sheets.
Oh,
I get a special discount. Because I know a guy who knows a guy.
I had I wonder if my Chester's popcorn is still any good. I had a ham and cheese croissant and 2 donuts because my son wasn't around to shame me.
Well, I'm going to shame you, fatty. What are you doing?
And all of that was $7.75.
Okay, that I will not shame you about. At least you didn't upfront spend lots of money. On the back end, maybe, but
it was a lot for me. Like when I lived, this is a long time ago, but when I lived in LA, ham and cheese croissants were $1.50. Now they're $4.
Oh, it's been a long time since I've had a good croissant, but it reminds me of chicken and a biscuit.
Those are good. Chicken and a biscuit are bomb.
Tell that kid to mind his own beeswax.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh man. So his mom picks him up yesterday. And he waits. He waits till he's sitting in the car because he knows his mom is there. And he looks at me and he's like, look, I know you're sleepy, but last time you slept, you left goldfish in the hallway and you left goldfish in my room. Because I
Well,
sleep.
at least it wasn't in his bed.
No, I do. I sleep. And my ex-wife looks at me and she's like, bro, you still do that? I said it didn't go anywhere.
Right. This is one of the reasons we split up. It was my sleep eating.
Well, you can't sleep in the same bed with me because I get up in my sleep and walk away. Like I'm a terrible person to sleep. Like, and I chomp.
No,
and
that
lick
makes you the best person to sleep with because then I can starfish and in my mummy bag.
Oh my god. I'm the worst. But he was trying to shame me, you know? And my ex-wife was like, we know your father's neurotic. Like, you're not shaming him.
Right. Mom's like,
he's
you
repressed.
haven't told me anything I haven't heard before. This is why we don't live in the same house anymore.
She's the one, she's like, she would always tell me, like, bro, you talk in your sleep. I said, no, I don't. She recorded me. She's like, bro, you sleepy. I was like, no, I don't. She recorded me. So she knows.
Right? It's nothing new. She's like,
I got a lot going on.
You're late to the party, kid.
My dreams are intense. You know what the funny thing is, too? The only reason I don't freak out is because I don't drive my car. So I don't care if I wake up and there's like a sugar cookie stuck to my face. I don't care.
Right. Fear. There was no power tools. You didn't try to start a sewing machine. You didn't get behind a wheel.
Yeah. The other day I was making my bed and I found a dried sugar cookie and I was like, could have worse habits. I just grabbed it, hooked it in the garbage and kept moving on with my life. Like,
well, at least you didn't try to re-eat it again after it spent the night in bed with you.
No, ever since I quit smoking cigarettes, I have an impeccable sense of taste.
Stale and so sugar cookies is not tasty.
No. The world, like, I can't eat still anything at all. If it's off just at all, I'm like, what is this? Oh. which makes me question everything I did up until I quit smoking.
What is this? I thought that I'd cut out the back for my house coat and I couldn't find it, but I found it again.
Yay.
So I'm just pinning pieces. Because I'm not doing a lot of sewing today. I'm just doing a lot of bitching. But it happens some weeks. Also tomorrow when I don't have to host the show.
You're a better person than me. I would have ate this sugar cookie.
Okay. Killer, how did I know that was you?
So I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you why I didn't. Because there wasn't frosting on it. I'm addicted to the frosting. I buy sugar cookies with a fat layer of frosting. I'm like a little kid. Oh, and that's
to go get your blood work done so that you can see and so that the downstairs still works because the diabetes makes you not be able to see and makes the not be able to stand up like a good soldier.
I truly think I am I either have the BDs and I use sugar cookies for insulin or I'm giving myself the BDs.
Well, you should just go and get that checked out and know so you can like manage it.
But I know talking about Bill Cosby is not apropos anymore, but when I was a kid, I was obsessed with the Cosby Show, okay? And I am turning in... Oh, that's beautiful.
From when my embroidery machine worked.
Oh, I miss those days. I'm so mad at my... But, like, I'm turning into Cliff Huxtable. I'm coming to that point in my life where I can't eat pastrami. Like, you know, the doctor's telling me, you better slow down now, bro. You know?
Yeah.
I like chili fries. You know what's so bad? Like, my 70-something-year-old mom, I call her and I'm like, do you want to go to Fat Burger? I'll pay. And she's like literally sitting in my car like, let's go.
I've never been there. I know, Killer, they do make little blue pills for that. But those little blue pills also make you see blue sometimes.
I just have to have the heart for it. That's all. Anything like because my breathing issues, it messes with my heart. So I can't take anything that's like, that's why I can't.
Right, so it's got to work naturally. So you need to go get checked for the beatus if you want everything to work.
Well, it still does, but I think one day it won't because the vision is the first sign. And every once in a while,
No, the below the belt is before the eyes. I have
Uh-oh.
literally no use for an embroidery machine, but you're making me want one. Oh, let's see what else I can pull out.
Okay. So, Kilroy, I'm not kidding you. I got my stalker machine and I made 1 million patches. I made every acronym I ever wanted, every patch I ever wanted. I made.
Oh, this one's good too. It says,
Oh, that's
what does it
awesome.
say? Think outside the cage.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Embroidery machines suck. Don't buy one. They're like a Harley, an old Harley.
They are.
At least mine is. My baby lock hates me.
To my stalker, I know you're watching because there's mad lurkers here. And I love you. If you're lurking, I love you because I lurked forever.
Because this is my channel, so thank you. Thanks for hate watching. Not godless.
Even if you hate me, I love you because I lurked for years. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it!
Embroidery machines and stalkers.
Oh,
we love embroidery machines, but we love to hate them.
If you're watching my stalker who sent me an embroidery machine, I would love it if you sent me another one. And if you send me the one that's worth 10 grand.
Yeah, the 10 thread automatic one. That
I'll send you my socks. I'll send you my socks because I know you're weird.
Right. Do you want feet pics? What do you want?
I won't do you. I won't. I have to draw a line somewhere. I won't do you for an embroidery machine, but I'll send you a pic or two.
What? Right. Let me know what pics you want. We can get them coordinated.
Somebody. I still think about it all the time. Like someone legitimately sent me a machine to my house, and it was worth $700 or $800. It's a Brother PE 535. And they sent it to me during the pandemic.
Yeah, so they had money to burn when everybody was hurting.
And I go back and I watch that video. That video, I say 4 or 5 times, I love you. Please don't come by my house. I will fight you. I will. This is spatial perception. I am far away. I have long arms. I am armed. Do not come by my house. Do not.
We have weapons of mass destruction around here, and we're not lying.
Somebody sent me that machine. Somebody, and they sent them in my real name because there was another YouTuber who sent me a machine, and they didn't know my last name, so they were like William Sewing, and but they sent it to my job. But I kept that tag because it's the coolest tag ever.
Right? Yeah, that's a little bit less creepy. Keep a Louisville Slugger by the door. Actually, I've got
I can't flash.
Wait,
flashing. Can't do it.
Bars for weightlifting. There's 3 next to the doors.
Right. I learned from the brat. I don't know if I have champagne bottles strategically placed around my garage. But then I found out that she hit someone with it because she would always she did it in the show, and she drove off X-Pac, who was a professional wrestler, because he was basically stalking China. This was on a surreal life, but it happened in real life. And I later found out that the brat went to jail for actually hitting somebody with a champagne bottle.
Ooh.
So
I just like that circus act about the people whose balance on point shoes on the champagne bottles. That would be a cute act, but my ankles might hate me.
I wonder about people like that because I'm double jointed. I just don't have that one muscle because my leg would give out. Because I'm triple jointed. I can do all kinds of fun stuff. I can still touch my foot. I love doing this when I stretch because I'm old, but I can still do this.
Yeah, but can you touch it to your head?
I used to be able to touch it to my back, and I can't anymore. I used to be able to put my foot.
You need to keep stretching. It just means more stretching than last time. It sucks that it takes longer to warm up. It's not says you can't do the same stuff. It just takes longer to be able to get to do those things.
This is what I tell Isaiah because when we walk, we stretch before and after, and he's shocked how I can touch my
before and just go to the after. You should do a dynamic warm up, like butt kickers and high knees. And some jumping jacks, because there's it's not just I'm not learning anything. There's research that shows a passive stretching before a workout actually decreases your power output.
I just don't want to do what I live in a land of runners, and I feel like running every day does damage to your body. Like people who obsessively run.
Yeah, no, running is different. Just walking is fine. You don't need to run. And
Walk
runners,
every day.
the impact of being on pavement actually can cause some folks to be anemic because they shed red blood cells through their bladder.
We have just it reminds me of like when I lived in Portland, people were always on their bicycles. Where I live, people are always running. They're always running.
Yeah, they should just stick to a bicycle or a hula hoop.
I know 2 people in their 70s that were mad because they had to start walking and they no longer run.
Oh, and yeah, the hardcore runners, they're like weird. They're like on their 3rd hip replacement and they're like, what do you mean I can't run anymore? And the doc's like, you wore out one. Sorry, kid. I can only do these so many times.
You know, it's really funny. Someone who I know is a hardcore runner, I saw him at the grocery store. I talked about it a couple weeks ago, but first thing they said, they were like, you look so good. Look how skinny you are. They were basically saying, I know you smoke and look how skinny you are. But they were praising me, you know. But I think that's their obsession is like, I don't know. I habitually mind my own business, so I don't obsess over other people like that.
That's usually a good policy. We usually folks have enough to worry about in our own lives. Who cares? Like you can make your own bad decisions. I can make my own bad decisions. I don't need any help.
Like I always say, like I'm gonna tell you don't jump off the cliff, but if you're jumping, I'm not gonna jump after you. You know, I'm gonna say don't do it.
Right. I'm not a lemming. I'm just an asshole with a camera and a microphone.
You know, because I'm so old school, I always forget to pull my camera out when stuff happens. Because I'm watching it. Because I'm like, oh, did you see that guy? And then I don't have that initial reaction to pull my cell phone out. I'm like, oh, these guys are scrapping. I don't think like, hey, pull your cell phone out.
I know. I'm sad that we didn't take any footage at the lake yesterday, and my bathing costume was so amazing. I read an article somewhere that this guy hired some scientists to come up with a workout that would let him live the longest. They came back to him, and the plan was just to walk 26 minutes every day. Yep, because your heart's the most important muscle. 150 minutes of cardio per week is the baseline minimum, which is about 20-ish minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna live longer than I think I am. I walk even when the kid's not here. Like that's why I went to the swap meet today to get my steps in.
Yep.
Because the swap meet's huge, so I know if I do a couple of loops on the ground, I've done at least half a mile.
Right. Except for that weirdo, like, billionaire who's spending, like, $1 million a year with, like, injectables and all this stuff to look super young. Like, I don't get it.
Look at Warren Buffett. He's a real life ghoul. He benefits. Yeah, like he did everything. Like he literally took everything, did everything to stay. Like literally.
Well, I know. Can they just let Dianne Feinstein? Can she just like retire? That lady, she looks so sick. She's got shingles plus some other thing going on right now. Just like, honey, you need to retire and enjoy like the last 6 months of your life in peace. Like, go do something fun. In the same way, I never developed that automatic thing to pull my phone out when I see something crazy or cool. I'm too busy watching the show. I know there's definitely something about like if we film too much, then we're more worried about what the footage looks like rather than having an experience and being in the moment. And it's important to just be in the moment.
I knew I was old when I started going to hockey games, and I was the only person not sitting there with their phone out taping the game. Like you paid money. Like you could watch it at home, bro. Like we paid money to sit and watch it live. Like it's just,
God.
Yeah, maybe I'm
Kissinger's gonna be 106 days. Why couldn't they? So Kissinger gets to stay, but they took Betty White from us. Come the fuck on.
Hatred. I think about this all the time. Hatred keeps you alive forever. My grandfather was one of the most loving people ever. He got Parkinson's and died at like 82. My grandma had so much resentment and hatred. She held on longer than she lived to be 99.
All right.
Forever in my eyes.
Do not take Dolly from us. I know she's funny sometimes, but just Dolly.
Alexa,
But
how old is Dolly Parton?
Dolly Parton is 77 years old.
Oh, she's young. Where I'm from, she's young. She's young.
yeah, but people have been biting it like nothing these days. So I don't know.
Oh man, in my family, she'd be the wine aunt. That's young.
Oh gosh.
She'd fit into my family. She has plastic surgery. She'd fit right in. She likes to drink, tell stories.
I know. Do you think did she have a boob job? Are those real?
No, she had to keep. No, I'll tell you why. Okay, and she is a victim of her own fame. She was famous for having large tatas. Okay.
Yeah, she was.
But then she got older and.
Yeah, they don't stay. Right. She must either have like the most amazing support garments or there's some fakies in there to keep them up nice.
Think about it. Like she has LA, what I call LA face. She has almost cat face. You know what I'm saying? So if she got a whole new head, she's willing to get some new chesticles. I love how you say chesticles. She's willing.
I stole it from somebody else, but it makes me laugh because when you're born with gigantic chesticles, it makes me take jabs at I don't know.
Or they are like the pump, like the old shoe, Kilroy, like the pump.
Oh, that's funny.
You know what though? I've seen Willie Nelson in real life smoking a J in front of the cops here before it was legal, and I don't know how he's alive because I have crappy lungs and he's big chief. He is big smoke. I don't know how he's alive.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Really good health insurance.
Well, yeah, he can afford it. Don't even get me started on the state of health insurance. Stupidness.
But I think Dolly Parton has had massive amounts of plastic surgery. Massive amounts. And you know what? I loved and still watch the show Reba with Reba McEntire. I think Reba's hot as hell. She's had more plastic surgery than my grandmother. She has.
Maybe Willie mixes preservatives into his cheese. Yes.
He does.
A dash of formaldehyde, a dash of glycerin.
I just always thought that was gangster because he was literally standing in front of his tour bus talking to the cops smoking a J before it was legal. And I was like, that's gangster. Because where he performed was within 7 minutes from my house. So I smoked. I was just freshly smoked when I got there. And I went with my parents and I was driving.
Well, I heard there was a good show with the Greek the other day who was at some country stars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have to look up your summer schedule. I have to look that up. The problem with the Greek is that this time of year, like going there is whatever. You'll spend 3 hours in the parking lot on the way out. You will spend 3 hours in the parking lot.
Okay, maybe that's why Mark Grobert was just excited because I guess he lives within walking distance. So he's like, I can walk home.
He's rich.
Well, yeah, when he talks about his friend Oliver, he means Oliver Stone.
Those houses are like, that's historic LA over there. That's historic.
I think he lives in an apartment complex or like some fancy high-rise complex thing. But
that whole area, have you ever seen the movie The Slums of Beverly Hills?
Don't think so.
There's like an old architecture that they keep and people pay millions of dollars to live in these like really old apartments. Or like
to live in one of the Charlie Chaplin houses.
My town is famous
outside of my price range, but
you just named my town. My town is famous for silent films. William S. Hart's property is here. And I'm gonna say this. I don't think it's right. They still have buffalo there. I'm not an environmentalist. I've actually had buffalo. It tastes really good. I think it's weird. I think it's weird that we have buffalo in the middle of the desert. they still have buffalo in a cage up at his property. And every time I go, I'm like, these massive animals are in just a pen. They're in a pen.
Well, they can afford the water.
I just always thought that was cool. Like, aren't the buffaloes supposed to roam, as the song says?
Right. Oh, home on the range where the deer and the antelope play.
It trips me out. It trips me out. And it's a cool free place to take people. Like, hey, you want to see a museum for free? Let's go. Like, it's like this man built a castle on the hill, not realizing that he was going to be in the center of town.
Right, because back then it was nothing.
Oh yeah, it was literally Cowtown, and now it's like they turned his entire estate into a national park. I don't know if it's a national park
or a state park or a city park.
Yeah, it's kept, and the cops patrol it. And
the light's washing me out.
I don't know if you're into ghost stories, but
sure, let's hear a ghost story.
Well, there's an old train station there, and I don't know his name. It's Zach something, but he has a TV show, and he came.
Oh yes, who's got the museum? Who owns the weird, creepy house and has the hearse from the car from whatever? That's in. Is that in Vegas? That house or that museum?
There's we have one here.
Oh, okay. What's it called? Oh, my brain is blanking. Chat brain, help me out. As I'm like trying to pin random stuff and pretend to be productive. I sewed some stuff. What am I talking about? I shouldn't feel bad. Some days we're not all winners. I mended 2 things.
Oh, they're not. Trust me, I say that all the time. They're not all winners. Or my favorite saying is, "We didn't do shit today. We'll give them hell tomorrow." Hey,
Right.
Change your sheets. The only thing I did was take your sheets off. So all you have to do is change your sheets.
All right.
Let me see.
I need you to get your shoes on because
I'm
gonna have to fight next
okay,
door.
I'm gonna take over for right now because there's random stuff happening in the background. All right, funny pictures. Let's see here. Oh, cats are getting more dinner. There's humans walking around, and I'm pinning pieces for this house coat of many colors and many, many more hours. But I might have to do some like more tailored things because I have like a whole roll of fusible interfacing that I've been afraid to touch. So maybe I need to start making some like nice collars and some like more tailored things. Oh, I miss my buddy.
It's funny, isn't it? We could fight.
He'll join my biker gang. Isaiah will be our accountant.
I'm gonna have to fight.
Yep, put him in where he's good. Let's see here. We can pin this here. I know. What's everybody working on today? I used to ask, and now I've gotten lazy in my old days. Make some 70s collars. That would be cute. Keep thinking of Edwardian shirtwaists because I've got like the underclothes, but I don't have the clothes you wear underneath your underclothes. So maybe I should make something.
I love that kid. He's a good kid. Aw.
Loki.
See you later.
Yeah, yelling for food.
Call me if there's anything juicy drama. My life.
As if life's boring, that boring. You need to solicit other drama.
Her life is exciting.
You cannot.
Hey, bro, go change your sheets, okay?
But next time, don't eat my cupcakes.
Oh,
Cupcakes.
I only ate half of the cupcake.
Sure, but you
Yeah, we're not talking about cupcakes. We can talk. Let's see here. I found
bro,
both of my suckers.
Bro,
I've got
we live such fortunate lives. We can go get more. Okay.
melon and
Wow.
some citrus one. I just love the look of them from the back. Wow, I'm so washed out. You can't see my suckers.
Oh, that's funny.
These are my fancy Korean. No, these are Japanese Skittle suckers.
He would not have been able to hang with my father. My father was ruthless. He'd eat it in front of you. You'd be like, what are you going to do?
Oh, great. Here the health nut goes again. Shush up. I am the health nut and no cupcakes. I need to feed my sourdough, though, because I had a sourdough starter in my freezer for a number of years that I woke up. But now I have to, like, bake stuff or make crackers and to keep it fed and watered enough because it's hot and my sourdough, like, tries to dry up on me, which I should feed my sourdough.
So, do you think it's weird that in America our bread doesn't go bad? Like the store bread?
Yeah, it is, but I do like that 45-calorie Sara Lee because it's only 45. Oh, my human's trying to be inconspicuous
I know,
feeding
just
cats, and you're like,
not
here's
doing
my
very
mug
well.
just showing up.
But I don't know. I like the fact that I can forget that I have muffins and eat them a month later and they're still good.
Yeah, McMuffin man, that's a
I do.
problem.
I make McMuffins all the time. I'm obsessed with English muffins. And this
That's
particular
on my to-be.
with this brand I make, they don't go bad. And I watched this one woman from Ireland, and she's always like, she talks about the difference between America and Ireland, and she's like, in America, they don't realize their bread doesn't go bad. And
I know, but they irradiate their food because they keep their eggs and milk on the counters at room temperature. I find that weird. They do something to it that it doesn't need to be refrigerated. That's weird.
My pops grew up on a farm, so he would drink creamer and stuff. I think it's gross. I couldn't do it. I couldn't drink warm cream or any of that. I'm too American for that.
I mean, I've made my own bread before, and if you keep it in a plastic bag like the store does, it lasts for a couple of weeks. Mine usually goes bad before that.
You're making me want to pull up my bread maker.
Well, I'll send you a sourdough starter.
Oh, there's nothing better than fresh made bread, but it makes me fat.
I know.
It makes me fat. Like, it makes me fat.
No, the bread doesn't make you fat. You need to just not put all the gallon of butter on it and the tub of mayonnaise. That's what's making you fat. It's not the bread. It's the butter and the mayonnaise.
It's funny. I'm addicted to both, and I didn't start eating mayo until I was 25, or drinking soda until I was 25.
No, I broke up with my soda habit until my coach was like, no calories, no problem. So every once in a while, I will go and get a 10-calorie diet Mountain Dew because Mountain Dew is the best shit ever.
I'm surprised my ex-wife didn't react at my shirt. She probably didn't notice it.
No, she was too busy shoving her phone in your face.
Oh, it's because her kid is YouTube famous. No, I'm not. I'm sorry, not YouTube famous. Is Facebook famous?
No, kids should not be famous.
And so
I mean, John.
You know me, like, he's hands for a reason. I told him don't.
Yeah,
show
no,
your
they
kids
should.
on the screen.
Yeah, don't show your kids' faces.
But to each their own. But he has viral videos because Isaiah didn't talk until he was 4, so we didn't have that experience.
That's okay. You still have cute videos. Just because he's not talking, he made up for it once he decided to start talking. It sounds like
it shocks people when I say that. They're like, "What?" He didn't say nay. He didn't have nothing to say. He didn't say a peep and then one day he started talking, and I'll never forget.
And then you couldn't shut him up.
My pops and I we were like Patty and Selma. My father and I we would just smoke. We would just sit there and compulsively smoke. And he walked out and started talking. And neither one of us react. I just started talking to him. We just from that day, he never stopped. Oh yeah.
Hillary, you're so smart. They pasteurize milk at a higher temperature that makes it possible to keep it at room temperature. But what about the eggs, though? That one I don't understand because they keep their eggs at room temperature also.
What about the consistency? How does it taste? What does it smell like?
I don't know. I've not drunk European milk in a hot minute because the last time I was in Europe might have been 1999. Literally.
Mine was whenever Pope. I still have the Pope John Paul thing too on my weird shrine over there.
Good to remember where you came from, so you decide what you're going to carry on or what you're going to leave behind.
I inherited all my grandmother's old like religious tchotchkes and stuff, and it would have been a disservice to throw them away or not treat them with give them a place of honor.
Respect, yeah.
And
Well, good for you, child.
she collected stuff from around the world too. Like I have real Russian dolls. There's a like real one.
Matryoshka. Yes.
I have like plates from Egypt, and like I was talking to my mom, and my mom's like, "Bro, you know that's silver, right?" She's like, "Don't ever get rid of that. That's real silver." Like, I don't know, it's just shiny. It was just shiny, so I put it on display. I was like, "Oh, I like this."
Why keep it on display? I was just watching this young whippersnap who was talking about how he's like just collected real sterling silver and different things, and or like his friend wove him some linen towels, and it was like, why keep the nice things for special occasions? Like, just make every day a special occasion and use your beautiful stuff.
That's how I feel about my equipment, about all of the stuff I have. Like, I'm not getting any younger, at all.
All right, Kilroy, you are too smart for me. Eggs can actually be kept at room temperature if you don't wash off the outer cuticle. Here in the US, we wash our eggs with ammonia. Oh, okay. And that washes off the cuticle, so they need refrigeration. Thank you again. And I know when I'm making pasankis, the best ones are the fresh from the farm where you like wash them gently in the sink because the dyes don't hold as nicely. Which I didn't do again this year, but we'll get back to making pasankis at some point. Maybe I'll make some Halloween ones because I need some new pumpkins. Because who doesn't like pumpkin-shaped eggs? Or eggs dyed like pumpkins. Wow, I'm just a rambling hot mess today. What else do I have on my list of craziness? We talked about the debanking. We did that. Oh, this whole thing about all these new bank mergers that I wonder if they're just a cover for the government for the centralized banking digital currency stuff. Because that's weird.
Oh, I heard conspiracy. I always come at the good part. I always miss.
I've got bank mergers as a cover for centralized banking digital currency because we've had all these bank collapses and JP Morgan trying to like buy out the stuff. But then what's up with JP Morgan and the Epstein Island stuff? And I just saw a picture. This is, wow, random tangent stuff land, but there's a picture of Stephen Hawking's on Epstein Island. Like, yeah, I saw this picture this week. I was like,
He loved women. He loved women.
Stephen Hawking's?
Absolutely. He would go to strip clubs and everything. He loved women. So
I didn't know he was.
Yeah, he was a horn dog. That's pretty par for course.
I guess you're smart. Everybody's like, some people like the brawler, some people like the brains.
There's and the only reason I know this is because strip clubs have published pictures.
And
like
handicap accessibility, like
I bet he made it rain. Not like that rapper. Have you heard of? No, I'm sorry, the NBA player. Have you heard of Jay Morant?
Maybe. Oh, hey, Free-Furs. No, how can I'm not a bad
This
cat
young
in the
man,
window.
this young man can't stop flashing guns on camera, and he plays in the NBA.
Ooh.
And I gotta look it up, but he spent, I think it was like, he gave $40,000 to a stripper, I think, or something crazy in one night. Like, and there's a picture. There's a security cam picture. He had so much money, the entire floor was filled with $20 bills.
Oh yes, please. I'd be the kid on the floor, like shoving it into my testicle holder, like give me the dough. Oh, Kilroy, I didn't know this. That viral kids thing reminds me of a law Illinois wants to pass. They want to make online child stars have the same financial protections as child actors, where the money goes into a trust account instead of the parents getting it and blowing it. I think that's something that we're gonna need to seriously figure out how we are going to address, because that is a real problem. And like work hours and schooling and exploitation stuff. These
He
YouTube
gave.
family channels are weird.
Oh my gosh! Tomorrow I'm going to show this picture. He gave $50,000.
Yes,
Fifty
please.
thousand dollars. I'd strip for
I'll drop
52
my
grand.
Venmo in the. I'll set up a Venmo. You can just like wire me the money, please.
And she because it's an up and up strip club, they didn't even do the deed because the entire thing's on camera from the moment he walked in until the moment he left.
Yeah.
That kid, and they're trying to kick him out of the NBA, but he lives in a state where you can brandish a weapon, and it's not illegal to be dumb. It's not illegal. If you
No.
want to spend all your money, he has more money than people will ever see in their life. But if he wants to be an idiot, more power to him, you know?
Yeah. Oh, Killer Ray's got a viewpoint. I was raised in that old school gun culture that you never ever take pictures with your guns for a reason. Yeah. Oh, that's a great segue. Killer Ray, what do you think about that whole Heller and Coke debacle that happened this week? Or does anybody have any thoughts about Heller and Coke? I didn't even know this company existed because if you're not
What
a
company is
Sig Sauer, Heller and Coke, they make expensive pieces that are, I guess, are not very good. What is the one they were talking about? What's a 1911? I don't understand.
Oh,
I don't understand.
that's a handgun. Oh,
Okay.
Exactly.
It's like, let me just drop enough words, keyword. Let me just do my keyword search and somebody will help me out.
It's like one of the most reproduced Hooters of all time because it's such a simple design. It was made in 1911 and has not stopped, and it's huge.
Okay.
Like,
Oh yeah, it looked like a big.
It's a biker special. Actually, it's funny that you say that because they make vests that fit 1911s. Like my vest fits a 1911.
Okay, yeah. So I guess the
Oh,
Heller and Coke, their PR person was proud, or I can't remember. Whoever was something about like not wanting the gun industry to be exploiting women in bikinis, but the woman who theoretically runs their marketing used to be a bikini model and competed in bikini competitions because there's pictures of her like at the show with her sparkly bikini with her competitor's number,
so
and
she
somebody
basically
did up.
switched sides.
Yes.
I don't like people like that. Like, especially
Right.
if you were what you're against, get out of here.
I know, and what I mean, gun ads are either people on horseback or girls with bikinis on fast cars. Like this is there any other marketing they have?
Well, they advertise to bikers and cowboys too, which is women in bikinis.
Right.
My father still gets American Rifleman because apparently
so you still get American Rifleman.
Well, I send him an email. I'm like, bro, like,
oh, your father-in-law. I thought you said your father.
No, my dad. He still does, but like,
okay.
you know, he's been gone for almost 4 years, and I
was gonna say that's funny.
I'm like, does he have a lifetime subscription? And he's like, he paid for 10 years.
Okay, so you got a few more left.
I think I have like 5 or 6 more years. But American Rifleman, it's either cowboys, fast car, or a scantily clad woman, or
right?
Especially smaller companies. They use their wives, their cousin, whoever's the best looking person.
Right. Whoever's not a McMuffin is gonna like look cute holding it and a scantily clad stuff. Yeah, pretty girls are always a selling technique. I think selling anything with women in bikinis is tacky as hell, but that's kind of hypocritical. I think that's what they were getting at, because this whole, I don't know, like I was talking about earlier with the Adidas one-piece bathing suits. But I mean, anybody can wear a one-piece bathing suit. I think.
Oh man!
I wonder.
Today I almost bought a Budweiser tank top, but I was
Budweiser?
Like, no, remember Budweiser from the late 80s and the 90s?
Oh, God.
It was like the quintessential hillbilly T-shirt. Instead of Budweiser, it said Buttweiser. But like I
That
was
would
like,
have been really funny in today's climate because that would have been really funny.
because of the world of reprints, they brought the T-shirt back.
Oh, God.
And I have to show you something. I bought this shirt for $1. I have to show. I completely forgot about that.
Oh, my focus is off. Sorry that I
Yes.
was washed out in autofocus.
So how much do you think this is going to shrink? This is a Vans T-shirt. I bought it for $1. It's total reprint.
Oh, then you should enjoy wearing it once and then wash it in extra hot water and see if you got a shirt for the kid.
He's my size, so it might be too small for him. But Create or Die, this is sick. This is like a $20 shirt. And I walked up to this guy had a bin, and I asked him in Spanish. I said, how much? He's like $1. And I bought one. And when I got home, I was like, I should have got like 10 of them.
Right, 10 for $10. You would have only had to pay $7.50.
Yeah, he would have hooked me up. He would have, especially because of my demeanor and my hat. People love that I speak Spanish, so they're really nice to me.
Yeah, I think too. That's what I was getting back to. That if clothes weren't so gendered, I think some of these things would be moot issues. But sometimes corporations just try to get their like ESG points. It seems like, and
Totally.
they don't know their audience. And I see Gallagher. I think the guy who smashed fruit on stage. Yes.
That man was a legend. That man was a legend. I still tell Gallagher jokes. I honk for no effing reason. That's the Gallagher joke. If you ever hear me tell that joke, that's literally a Gallagher. I loved Gallagher. Back before the internet, my parents had tapes. And they had a couple Gallagher tapes. So I watched Gallagher over and over as a kid. Oh, that's funny.
That is
Gallagher is like a common last name where I'm from. So I'm sure it's somebody, a famous skater or somebody that I'm too old to know.
right. Oh, I did. It's in the other room, but this peach schmata that I sewed last week made the cutest little dress. Human, can you look at my dress for me? No, I've got the glare of I'm not getting up off the couch right now. You can go get your own damn dress.
Sundays are a loungy day for me as well. I got a tan. That's why, like earlier I did this because you can see the difference between the color of my arm and my face because I was in the sun today. I was definitely in the sun.
I went to the lake with a hat and giant sunglasses and was like, did I sunburn? Nope, I maintained my vampirish complexion while being out on the water and rowing like a mad crazy because I did most of the rowing on that boat yesterday.
Oh, are you ripped? Like I feel my muscles from lifting this 300-pound table. I feel. Oh yeah, you got.
Sore. I got baby guns. They're not the biggest. My tricep lines are not really nice, and I don't have death star delts right now.
I do jail dips, and so it keeps that there. I literally go backwards and
just that's this pose.
Yep.
This is not my best goon light.
One day Isaiah, because we have our own bathrooms, and all he saw were my feet out of the bathroom. He's like, "What the heck are you doing?" And I was doing jail dips, and so now he does it in his bathroom.
Oh, good. Well, let's see here. A few more days, and Godless is going to have Kenny Rogers roasters. Look.
I'm telling you, I've seen Hulk Hogan in person. He's darker than me.
Oh, who was the WWF guy who just died this week?
Oh, who died?
No, somebody just.
Oh, let's go to Twitter. Hold on, I can figure out.
Mobile. So, somebody who had a belt just died this week. And I couldn't recognize the name, but I'm sure.
I forgot.
I mean, I have to pee something.
Ray Rhodes it wasn't Ray Rhodes. You know, at Twitter, sometimes you disappoint me.
Oh, of I don't know. I know where the important phone is, but not my fun phone.
It's funny to me how people care sometimes more about social issues than a human being passing away. Which reminds me, there's like someone I used to stream with who is withering away and streaming it. And I saw one of their live streams the other day and it made me cry because they are ill and they look gaunt. Is that proper word? Is that proper?
Yeah, when you're like skin and bones, that's fine.
Yes. It was the whole Eugenia Cooney thing all over again. Like
Billy Graham.
I don't know. It's just it makes me want to cry because I just saw her on my Twitter right now.
Yeah, I think for some folks it's cathartic, and I think that's one of those areas that in today's culture we don't talk about death and dying enough, whether it be an adult or the worse is when it's like you had a miscarriage or a stillbirth or something. Like we don't have a good we don't have a culture of talking about those things, so people just suffer silently.
Oh, Billy Graham from the WWE. Okay.
I know. Killer Ray always comes to the rescue, and sometimes it just goes like right over my head.
That plane soared over mine as well.
I thought it was the preacher. I was like lost in I was like,
oh, I forgot that I have
Sunday.
the work banger here. I forgot because it's working. Do you see how much less I smoke when that thing's here?
Yeah.
Because it works.
That's why it's the work banger, not the home one.
Oh, man. Work is stressful.
Oh, yeah,
And
it is. But I can't do shit like that at my job. Well, I don't do a lot of shit at my job, but I do other shit instead.
You know what? I changed the culture. Because people were doing it in their cars and like all weird about it. And I'm like, all right, look, I'm in charge now.
Right. What is this? This is free banging or not banging?
Yeah. But the thing is, I'm telling you, like, if you get your job done, I can't say anything. Like, I don't know. My predecessor always told me that I'm too aggressive. But when everyone's doing what they're like, I have nothing to be aggressive about.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing their job,
Right. I'm not going to cut this up. One of these days, maybe tomorrow. No, I've got other stuff. I need to figure out my pin tucking foot because I think this would be a cute neckline with cute little pin tucks.
You totally reminded me of something. That would look great.
I know, but me and my pin tucker foot, I have not figured it out for Brunhilde. We have way too much cultural trauma around death, and by not talking about it, we perpetuate it. I blame the stupid Victorians. We also worship youth way too much. Yeah, yes. But at least Victorians would like have their hair wreaths and honor their dead. But people died at home.
YouTube did not like that second to last comment. YouTube blasted you, algorithm. No, you are right though. I have a different view because I was raised around senior citizens, so everyone around me passed away when I was younger. I watched a generation of people who were born like in the early 1900s pass away, so I dealt with it at a very young age. My Aunt Teresa, Terry, all my aunts, they were in their hundreds, but they passed. I knew them all my life, even though I was 7 or 8.
Yeah. Right, because you've got like the vampire gene, and I have the vampire complexion.
The women in my family live forever. The men haven't figured it out yet. They're too adventurous. But
that's a XY chromosome problem.
And plus, especially on the African American side, anyone who smoked cigarettes died of lung cancer. Anyone. So I'm screwed in that department. But on to better things. This is okay. So I don't buy these overpriced like yards. But I got lost in a store and I bought my first Waverly overpriced pattern. But I just liked this pattern.
That is cute. Oh, a original print from India that's got a similar styling to that.
But for 2 yards, I paid a lot of money for it. In my eyes, I paid a decent amount.
Yeah, well, I was watching the Closet Historian saying that she paid 53. No, was that the most expensive fabric she got? Was looking at stuff that was like 80 pounds a meter, like stupid stuff when she was in London looking at the fancy fabric shops. And I was like, no,
That's expensive.
please, my friends from India, I will take your cast off remnant garbages. But growing up, I only got along with seniors, so I went through the same thing. I love that the little green accent in that.
Kilroy knows what I'm talking about. I
know.
spent my whole life around people that were literally double or triple my age, so I kind of like, I I had a neighbor. This is what I always say. Like, I was fortunate to grow up around non-weirdos. I had a neighbor who was just older. He was like gray when I was a kid. I'd go hang out at his house. He actually is the one who got me into antiquing. He gave me a bunch of antiques.
I know. Well, you're used to fabric that they're basically giving away. So I know, which is why I shop at the thrift store. And this I shopped for my friend's car when they were moving. I think I need a buy. I miss an old-fashioned slip. So I got enough white and of this blue. I think
That's
I might need bloomers and a bias cuts, like hip length slip, because
So are
why
bloomers
not?
are bloomers like tapered at top? Are they like long shorts?
They can be, or they can be short shorts. It's just they're like poofy and usually have lace and ties.
Because back in the days, bloomers was like almost used as a word for underwear. But when I think of bloomers,
Yeah, no, because it was underwear. It was.
Think of like, we're not Victorian though. Like, not all of us. And
no, but I've got my old fashioned. Well, no, my modern interpretation of Edwardian underwear is not that many years off from Victorian underwear.
You know what though? Now that I think about it, I obsessively wear a Canadian tuxedo. I wore my vest and jeans today because it was cold. Well, at least early at 4:30 in the morning.
Fair. When it's usually cold in the desert.
Our weather is crazy. It rained at 3 something, and then it was 80 something degrees today. Like, I'm telling you, the weather does not know what it wants to do.
No.
As I'm looking at the camera.
Oh, please tell me I do not need meters of different colored linen right now for more clothes and more bath towels. No, it's May. I'm on no by May. I bought that stupid sheet last week for this house coat. I can't buy fabric because I have plenty.
I've been guilting myself so much. I think I'm going to have to go on a no buy, but I'm going to try a week because I'm an obsessive compulsive weirdo who can't stop buying things.
Well, that's why you call it a low buy. So you give yourself like a little out, but I've actually been really good, but I know what I have space for and what I have time to work through. And maybe I'll guilt shame myself into breaking out my 4 rolls of silk and
So I need a pep talk.
Okay, I can do this. What are we talking you out of now? We're talking you into now.
I need to I'm gonna move. I'm probably will keep this here for the live stream tomorrow. Okay, the draft, the table. But my synth pop career is never gonna take off. I will never be known for my keyboard skills. I need to get over it. And not over
it. The living room so you can annoy hands and get it out of the sewing room. You need room for another sewing machine instead.
Well, one of the reasons I pulled it out in the first place is because I wanted Hans to learn the piano, and he lost the interest, and I don't force things on people.
Fair. But if it's out there, then he might be inspired. No, actually. If Normanism is going to take off, they need hymns, and he's got to write the hymns for Normanism, so he needs a keyboard to make up melodies for hymns.
And that thing does... I just go up on the synth pop stuff, like on the new wave. I just sit there and geek out on the organ. I love my keyboard, but I need the room. And Marquette was the one who called me out. He's like, "Bro, you realize every 6 months you pull out your keyboard." Like he called me out. He's like, and he's like, you got way more popular for your sewing habit than you ever did your keyboard.
Well, no,
So
mate, but that might be a workaround for your copyright issues if you are doing the singing and music making. Then you just have to deal with the copyright owners of the lyrics and the music rather than the whole song. It's
Or you can
different.
just go like church organ style and just sing over it, and no one will know what you're doing, anyways. You know.
Exactly. Or you need your own theme song. And Kilroy says you are going to suck at this, no bye. You've already failed. Kilroy's like, no, not going to happen.
When I bought the table, I was driving home and I was like, I have a fucking problem. Then I put the picture in the group and Skips was like, you have a problem, sir. Godless Zoe, you have.
I know. I didn't check my messages until today because Saturdays I make a point of not turning on a computer and I don't have twatters on my phone, so I have to wait till I turn the computer on. The light's really making me pasty.
I bought that and then I went to Walmart and I was like,
now I need fabric to sew with all this new machines.
well, the thing is so heavy. Even if someone broke in my truck, they'd need like 3 or 4 guys to get it out. So it's not like
right. They would need a dolly, right? And no one would steal shit out of your car because they'd like, what are we? What's the resale market on this thing that we don't even know what it is?
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, this is good, Kilroy. You know that old computer desks have the pull-out keyboard tray. Make one of those your piano keyboard. That way it can be mostly out of the way and ready to go, but hidden also. But you'd have to extend it because the sliders are only big enough for a laptop, for a keyboard, and not big enough for a
I was also
keyboard.
thinking about mounting it somewhere where I can reach it from like here, but then I'd have to suspend it from the ceiling. But I already have a television suspended from the ceiling.
You should just move it to the living room so Hans can make hymns for the Church of Normanism. I think that's my vote.
I'm gonna have to. I might do it after the live stream or before, but I want to be. But I can just put a computer over there. But I want to be able. I want people to be able to see the machine too.
Yeah, and all we see is the edge of a green table right now. We don't have
because after tomorrow, I'm gonna completely take that motor apart.
Oh, Kilroy, this is true. The heads only know how to sell catalytic converters, not blind stitch machines, or any sewing machine for that matter. They'd look at a featherweight and be like,
The other night, my paranoid arse, who does not sleep, I should have just gone to bed. My neighbor has the same problem, okay? And he tools around all the time. I heard what I thought somebody was going to my truck, and my first thought was, oh, I hope you're not under my truck, because I will I hope you're not under my truck.
I'll get the poopies out.
Oh, my. I came running out there like Last Action Hero, and it was just me, like an idiot, running out at 3:30 in the morning. It was just me and the darkness. But I think about that all the time. Like, I'm almost offended that no one has tried to steal my catalog converter. But
like, not really, because you don't need that much expenses to take it off if the whatever is already not working.
The only people who can really afford to live around here are actors and cops. And so my neighborhood is known for cops. There's like 2 LAPD motorcycle cops. There's like my neighbor directly across the street's the sheriff. There's an LAPD that's like right at the end of the block. And you know, I'm such an I smoke joints in front of my house. Like they know me that I don't care. But my neighborhood is known for cops that live around here. So I think people, you know the funny thing is cops actually are held to a different standard, and they can lose their job actually really easily.
Which is kind of ironic because the times where they need to, they don't, and the times that they do, they shouldn't. Like, what's with this double standard of?
Oh, did you hear about what they're doing to the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department?
What are they doing now?
They're making all the deputies show their tattoos.
Oh God, so that they've got video evidence if they do crimes, you're like, oh, this is how you're tagged.
We have deputy gangs, and they've been denying it so much. But when you have 45 officers with swastikas that have squares and writing over them, you're in a gang. You're in a gang. And they have Hispanic.
Are you sure they're not part of the Ukrainian military?
Oh, don't even get me started on that argument. I hope. Don't even get me. I'll get triple canceled on that. Don't even get me started on that.
It's my stream. We've canceled ourselves.
I know.
9 people are taking the time to watch. Thanks, folks. Please do the YouTube things. We'll be off soon, and you can get back to your regularly scheduled Sunday.
I think if a cop breaks the law, they should get at least doubled. You know, it's funny. A comedian I watch says that, well, he's passed away, but he used to say, like, nah, man, like the cops should get double. If they commit a crime, like if we get 7 years, they should get 14 because they knew better. And I also we trust, like we teach children to trust them. It's different because where I'm from, no one trusts the police.
Yeah.
But we tell kids, like, if there's a problem, go to the cops because they'll help you, you know?
Or at least we used to, or they used to.
We have, I don't even know what to call them anymore because I don't know if you call them a gang. We have a shitty culture here where everybody has melded together and it's not just white officers. They found a bunch of cops that were vagos, bikers. A bunch.
Yeah, well, I think, maybe it's just me from my experience, but folks who've come from oppressed cultures, when they're given a little bit of power, are almost worse than the original oppressors, if not way worse. Hey, Butterfly, you're back.
Yeah, we go on forever. We used to always, in Spanish, they have a saying about that, about how like you don't have to worry about anyone except for the person that looks like you. This is about cops. When I lived in LA, it's a whole different culture. I'm from the Valley. Like, we wandered around like space cases. The cops never spoke to us. They left us alone. We were suburbanites. In Los Angeles, it's a whole different, set of rules,
Yeah, well, what is it, that same one who was the Mexican Border Patrol person who was often prostitutes at the border and in Texas
the bullies tend to become the biggest bullies or realtors where I live. They either become cops or realtors.
Well, it's the ones who feel like they need to wag their dick in front of you that become the cops, and those who are more money driven are like, oh, we can sell you shit.
Yeah. In my town, it's really weird. All the ex-cheerleaders and jocks, they literally all became realtors, and they're rich.
Yeah.
Because it takes like a 6 months course. Matter of fact, that person that I talk about that lived in an apartment that now lives in a castle in Texas, she's a realtor.
Did Kilroy solve the world's problems? I think Kilroy's working on it.
I would vote for you, Kilroy, if you decided to.
Yeah, if you ran for office, a federal office, I would vote for you.
Just make me secretary of sewing.
Can I be Health and Human Services?
I need a non-official title, like ambassador of sewing.
Yeah. Yes, all the problems are solved. You no longer have to worry about anything. We're going to Mars now. You're welcome.
That literally was South Park on Paramount+.
I need to catch up on South Park.
The one on Paramount+ was hilarious, and I've said this before, but I think it was because of nostalgia. The Beavis and Butthead movie made me cry.
I haven't seen the newest one, just the original.
But it was more nostalgia because they basically said they got trapped in time, but they just showed them in the 90s and they brought them back to the 2000s, and I was like, at the end of the movie, and I'm like, oh man, I need to get out of the house because I'm crying
Okay.
over the Butthead movie.
Since we've moved to the TV, have you seen what? I don't even know what episode. There was an episode of Black Mirror that we watched last night, 2 nights ago, about these two. Okay, it's my stream. I'll refer to people they were two black guys who loved video games, and it was completely VR. One was single, the other one was married with a kid who had a wife who was like, "Please get me knocked up again." And they would go to this video game where they were both playing Asian characters because they were playing Mortal Kombat, sort of, in the game. So one was a cute, like, fighter girl, and another one was a fighter guy. And they were like, how does this play in the real world, like our fantasy lives? Did I make any sense just now? Let's
Did
get
they
to the
fall
end
in
of the
love?
stream.
Did they fall in love?
In the video game, yeah, or they fell in lust at least.
Ooh.
I don't know if it was love, but there was definitely lust.
I think about
'Cause
that
they
all the
were
time.
Lusting in that game hard.
I
There was
have a
hard
couple.
lusting.
I have a couple digital relationships, but I know what the person looks like.
Yeah, they knew each other in the real world,
Oh,
but lusted after their characters and not necessarily who they were in the real world. So it was odd, but it made me think about you. I was like, oh.
I would never I couldn't have a relationship with an avatar.
Fair.
I have to, and plus I'm tactile, so you have to live close enough where we can drive to see each other.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, I am the guy who drove to Everett, Washington. I'm not saying I'm sane.
Yeah, because that's a long drive from your house. Shit. That was a long drive when I lived in Seattle. It was an hour plus in traffic, except when I was driving at 3 a.m.
Hey, I know that Phoenix, Oregon exists, and I would have never known that place. And I drove
Right, Phoenix is not just a town in Arizona.
But there's a lot of places like that.
Yeah.
Every state has a Washington Boulevard or
Yep, Medford, Massachusetts. Who knew?
Oh yeah. The East Coast that was a trip on the East Coast when I went there. There was a lot of towns.
There are a lot of towns.
No, sorry, I didn't finish it. That were named after the same ones here. We
were named after they were the originals. The
True.
West Coast named their towns after the old towns on the East Coast.
My town is named after a place in the UK, just with new in front of it.
Yep. Long distance relationships don't tend to work out in my observation. Eventually somebody gets a Dear John letter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They don't work. Oh yeah.
Even
my friend in Phoenix, we don't talk anymore. She recently got married. We do not talk.
I think it doesn't even need to be romantic relationships, but I think friendships over time and distance, which is kind of where social media has helped things. Because I've got a friend from university who's been dealt a super shitty hand for being an amazingly snarky, sarcastic, humorous human. Has had to deal with some health, medical, insurance, weird bullshit that I would not wish upon my worst enemy. Oh, okay, I need to order their exercise bands so they can keep their blood pressure up so they can get their meds from the stupors at the hospital. But I don't know where I was going with that. But
my streak is officially broken.
What streak did you have?
Every time I would live stream, no matter what platform I was on, I would lose a subscriber because people they see my videos and then they meet the real sewing and they're like, oh, he's a stoner who can barely speak English. But no one's canceled me yet. I thought this shirt would get me canceled by a few people.
Oh, what did I?
Oh, I do that all the time.
I don't know where I was coming. I don't know what was making noise. I heard myself that was in my earbuds.
But on the internet, you're eventually going to offend everybody, no matter.
I think that's my goal. I'm just It's okay. I'm a horrible asshole of a human.
I'm actually a really nice person, which has made me incredibly mean because you get walked over if you're nice. I was an extremely welcoming person, and it made me kind of cold because the world chewed me up and spit me out. Now I'm like, nope, I'm gonna take my sewing machine and go home.
Fair. Yeah, I think for the way I interact with humans on a regular basis, I've learned to put up big walls. Actually, I was always a person of big walls, so that's a lie. Killer Ray says I've had friendships work out long distance, but I also have a few people I do not talk to anymore. You got to really be careful and mindful. That is very
Yeah.
true. Yeah, because some people turn weird,
And that's another thing. I won't name the names, atheist community, but there's at least 2 people that I have met in Las Vegas that did not tell me their neurotic behavior. Oh, I lead with all my weird stuff. Everything you see, this is who I am. My voice is louder in person and higher. I won't shame you.
Back in my Tyson talk, I talk like this when I'm not really on stream. This is what I really talk like.
That's how I know. That's why I know how to fight. I am the real life boy named Stu.
If you don't have a way high pitch voice, then you don't know how to throw up the fisticuffs.
Are you kidding me? My voice is so high. I have a free lifetime pass to Disneyland. They think I'm the real Mickey Mouse.
that's why I should shake my head and just be Butch again. I'm an equal opportunity offender. If you have a sacred cow, doesn't matter. If I agree with you, I'm making that sucker into a nice tasty burger. Stop making me hungry. We're almost at the end of the show and it's almost feeding time at my house.
I know. And young Mr. Sewing's here, so now I have someone who can go sit down in a restaurant with me.
I'm not going out to eat. I don't know what I'm eating yet, but it's gonna be food.
I promised him, I keep on promising him, like, because he wants to go to IHOP. I don't think their food is good. I'm over it. But like, he eats so healthy that like, I'm like, you know what? If that's what you want to do, we can go there. If that's the like rewards you want, like that's cool, you know, because he does everything he's supposed to as far as schooling goes.
Right.
You know. But yikes.
Killer Ray, I'm the same way, godless. I'm turning into an asshole because I'm nice and people love to shit all over nice people. I think that's made me jaded too. And I just work in an industry where A, there's professional boundaries, and 2, sometimes I deal with literal psychotic, weird, sick, drug-seeking humans. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'll say this really quick, and I agree with you, Killer. IHOP sucks. You know why? It's because I quit drinking. When I quit drinking, all of a sudden Denny's and IHOP, I was like, this is gross. Who eats that?
No, Denny's went bad when you couldn't sit there at 12 o'clock in the morning drinking coffee and chain smoking cigarettes when you were 18.
It tasted
Not
so
that I
much
know
better.
what that was like.
It tasted so much better back then. I'll tell you my personal experience. When I first came in the atheist community, I was this doty-eyed, smiley person because, quite honestly, I don't have a problem with anybody. I don't care who you are or what you are. And I don't know if it's because of where I'm from, who I am, if I'm spoiled. I don't even know what it is. But people hated me for it. They hated me because I was nice to them. I still to this day I don't understand it. I feel like extremely like, I don't know. I trigger narcissists is what I'm trying to say. And it made me cold because people would be like, who are you? I'm like, dude, we're all streaming. We're all just shrubs, especially during the pandemic. We were all panic buying, scared streaming, hoping the world didn't end. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all had the same anxieties.
Right. Until people were able to flex again.
And you know what? Me being the real life Fred Sanford bothers people. Like, I am a reformed hobo. I sit here and sew. Like, I'm a real life rodeo clown. I'm a retired rodeo clown.
Oh, man.
Do you think that it's a quality of food issue, a generational issue, or like because when I lived in Oregon, Denny's was bomb. Denny's was like it was good, and IHOP was like these places were decent. Do you think it's an environment and condition issue, or am I just nostalgic because I was a traveler back then and I loved sitting down at restaurants and stuff?
I might have to default to the latter, partly because I can't remember the last time I ate at a Denny's. Partly because where I live, I can count on one hand the number of chain restaurants, and I generally don't eat there because I don't want to be a McMuffin, and I know what I can eat and get away with, and I know what I can't. So when I was frequenting those places, my waistline, because when you sew with wovens, you either fit your clothes or you don't, because I've not gotten into the Victorian of like, you tie stuff on or you have multiple hooks and bars. Like, your clothes either, sometimes your clothes either fit or they don't fit.
Remember what I said about my butt? Like, I forgot about my butt. And
it grows. My heart doesn't grow, but my butt grows 6 inches.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that pizza and anger. Like, I hate these motherfuckers. Let me
yeah, so you can't. I don't think you should eat your feelings away. You should deal with your feelings in some way. You can't eat, drink, game, sex your feelings away. You need to feel your feelings.
All three.
Shop your feelings away. I forgot that one.
That's me this past week. I was just bored and I bought a freaking but you know what though? I'll tell you, part of my excuse is they wanted a couple hundred and I said, I'll give you a bill for it. And she's like, do you need help taking that out?
like, no thanks. I got hands here. I'll put them to
well, I went, you know, because I'm a Karen. I went straight to the manager and I know that thing had been there forever probably.
Yeah. I know. This is why I mean, I streamed for literally a year to my human and nobody else for an hour. Like, my whole streams is me sitting in my living room in my studio, hand sewing, bitching about whatever to literally nobody. So it wasn't until this year that YouTube fed me your channel that I like people started to like me and watch me. But I think I'm just I think maybe they're just here for you and not really here for me.
No,
I don't know.
No, okay. It's so ironic. It's so ironic that you would say this because I've already had this conversation in my head. Okay, I used to stream with people. Okay, when I left, I took half of their audience, but the truth is, those people they like you for you, you know. So if I left, these people would still be here. You know what I'm saying? Like I always think about that because I will every once in a while when the people I used to stream with, when they're streaming, I'll look and I'm like, ooh, I get more people in my chat than you, and I move on with my day. So you never know. You know what I'm saying? Like
it is true. I do, and my show delivers what I promise. It's called the Sunday Stitch and Bitch for a reason. Right. Mostly I sew, and there's a lot of bitching. And I just dreamed of the old-fashioned sewing circles, quilting bees, where the folks would get together, work on their project, and just complain about stuff. Oh, butterfly, thank you, folks. Everybody's so sweet and adorable. That's my like insecurity moment of like nobody likes me.
Oh no, you're like honestly, this is what I've been looking for as well. Like someone who sews. I was streaming with people who didn't care what I was doing. I would be like, did you see my last video? And they'd be like, yeah. And I'm like, well, everybody else is watching it. You guys aren't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's, you're with like-minded people. And another thing, no one has an agenda here. We're literally just stitching and bitching.
We are literally, yes. I make a list of topics. We usually blow through them all. But
I'm going to be making Lucy pants. I'm going to be making bell bottoms. Well, I'm going to attempt to make bell bottoms. If I always reserve the right to make mistakes and like, oh no, straight leg.
Right. I miss wearing this sweater, so I'm going to, maybe I'll do it tomorrow morning where I don't have to feel pressure of like sewing on stream. And then we're gonna work on my house coat of many colors tomorrow
Awesome.
because Brunhilde hasn't had a workout this week, and since Alibaba can diagnose where I need to oil my machine from 3,000 miles away by just hearing where the clinks are going wrong, she sounds so great. Oh, Kilroy, I'm always here for you. I've got to have at least one person who also knows about Central and Western New York. Kilroy, I am 100% here for you for that because I Keuka Lake, Canandaigua Lake, the Finger Lakes. I may know some lakes that I have very fond places in my heart. That housecoat's going to turn out gorgeous. I know, which is why I'm working on it now. So when it's freaking cold and I need my warm housecoat, it's going to be amazing. You guys are so sweet.
That reminds me, should I make shorts instead of pants? Because it's gonna it's 80 something and it's 90 in my garage. I have a fan going.
The question is, when do you plan on wearing this amazing schmata outfit? Is this a winter outfit or is this a now outfit?
I made it semi-thin so I can wear it a year round.
Okay, then you need some shants or whatever you called them, your spants. your spants.
Well, it's
your
because I'm not man enough to say that I want to wear capris, because in my culture you get made fun of if you wear capris. Then
call them clam diggers and just I'm bougie East Coast. These are my clam diggers.
I like that look with a short sneaker. I like that look, even though I wear cowboy boots for everything. I like that look.
Okay, Butterfly says shorts. There's a hardcore shorts.
And Gilroy as well. Yeah, it's hot already. Summer is here. My plants are growing. My backyard is already my secret garden. It's already right now. I'm gonna go out there and it's gonna be perfect because everything's gonna be covered.
Oh, I've already got tomato flowers and baby jalapenos, salt tablets. I know it is my dysautonomic season. I'm dizzy as all get out. I'm where's the electrolytes?
All right, you guys have motivated me. I'm gonna move my keyboard into the living room because my synth pop career is not picking up.
Do it in the living room. Oh my God, we are at 3 hours and 47 minutes. So I'm gonna let my East Coast friends. Godless is gonna chill. I know you guys are night owls and are not going to sleep for another 5 hours, but I'm going to pretend that you're going to bed because I'm a thoughtful human and I need to eat food.
Oh, excuse me. Godless Sewing at the Godless Sewing channel. Tomorrow will be this same old beautiful thing, the same old melee. I'm all in for my Dick Cavett Lucy suit. So I'm going to try to put her in the thumbnail. It's green, but really I'm just going for a big gaudy outfit. So I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'm making a video right now, but I think I'm going to release a video every other week because YouTube's attacking my channel. I don't know what to do anymore. And it's a lot of hard work.
Rumble. Let's get ready to rumble.
I'm thinking about making some more just Frank videos on Rumble because I like the schmaltzy stuff behind it of me skating and going, being at my job. But most of it is me sitting in this room with the seam ripper and tears. That's 90%. Or me with my headphones on, bobbing,
and tears with the seam ripper.
Yeah. So we will be back at it tomorrow, 7 p.m. West Coast time, same bad channel.
Don't wait until tomorrow when you could be fabulous today, and don't laugh at others unless you've laughed at yourself. All right, have an amazing week. Remember to tip your waitresses. We will be here all week. And Rumble is not taking their cut, so if anybody, not that I'm shilling for money because I'm actually A-okay, but day one on Rumble, you were monetized, so I've made a whole 5 cents over on Rumble for my way. So you can leave tips and all that good jazz. Not that I expect anything, and don't shill do not do that. But I love you all. All right. Actually, I don't love you all. I don't know you. We're not having that type of parasocial relationship. All right. Bye. Thank you and good night.